Okay, folks, I am sure hoping that you can hear us. We would love to get some comments from you in the live chat. I see Michael here is on with us, and we're hoping that you can hear us. So if you are watching right now, give us a comment and let us know if everything sounds okay, if you can hear it, because I've got guests here that are excited to talk to you. And yeah, Michael, thank you. We appreciate that very much. So we are in Shiloh, Illinois right now. We are starting the show an hour early, specifically for you, so that you can get to meet some of the people who are working to improve the state of Illinois. And I've met many of these candidates, but you might not have. So this is just going to be a who's who and get to know people and give you the opportunity to meet some people who are, man, this state needs some help. And these are people who agree with that. So we're going to start with Joe Hackler. Joe, welcome to the show. Thank you for being with us right now. Talk to us about what you're running for. If you say I'm running in district, I don't know, 112, people don't know what that means.
Sure.
So talk to us about who you are, but who you are looking to represent.
Yeah, so my name is Joe Hackler. I'm running for the 112th district. The current Democrat state rep is Katie Stewart. So the district starts in Edwardsville, gets most of Edwardsville, turns into a little bit of a bottleneck around Maryville, cuts out a lot of Glen Carbon, but then comes down and gets parts of Maryville, basically all of Collinsville, over to Granite City, where my wife and I am from, and then goes down into St. Clair counties and gets kind of the northern halves of Fairview Heights and some Shiloh and O'Fallon neighborhoods.
Okay. So, and if you are formerly in the 112th, you might think, oh, well, I'm in the 112. This is my guy. That's not necessarily true, because I was formerly in the 112th district and they drew me out of it. So Joe is looking to win the Republican primary for the opportunity to defeat Katie Stewart in the 112th. And we've got multiple people running in that race, and we're going to talk to a bunch of them today, but we're going to start with you, Joe. You said you live in Granite City.
Yeah.
I'm extremely familiar with Katie Stewart and her ways.
Yep.
I'm curious, what motivated you to go from whatever it is you used to be doing to what you're doing right now?
Yeah, so there's basically three reasons for why I'm running. The first is that Illinois is in my blood. It's in my DNA. It's my home, and I'm committed, and I feel a duty and obligation to fight for it, to make it a better place. And so that's what I'm doing when I'm running for state representative, to give a conservative voice to Metro East families in Springfield. Secondly, is that I'm a conservative Republican. Katie Stewart's a progressive Democrat. We all understand that. We have differences of opinion on policy. But the thing that really, really bugs me about Katie Stewart and the Democrat majority party in Illinois is that they're the party of the status quo. They don't think that Illinois is doing badly. I know that Illinois is a disaster. You know that Illinois is a disaster. But Katie Stewart is fine with the status quo in Illinois. She doesn't care that we have the highest taxes in the nation. She voted for them to be that way. She doesn't care that we have the second highest property taxes, that we have a totally corrupt state government, and that we have a shrinking economy while all of our neighbors in the Midwest are growing. She doesn't care. The Democrats have no plan to actually fix Illinois. So I'm running to actually get change in Illinois and to turn around the state of Illinois. And then lastly, the reason I'm running is we need someone who is strong, who can actually beat Katie Stewart in November. I believe I'm a proven fighter and a trusted conservative who will be able to get that job done in November.
All right. So we're speaking with Joe Hackler, who's running for the Republican nomination for the 112th district, the person who wins that primary, which is June 28th. If you're not familiar with the primary, don't forget you got to win a primary first. Sometimes there are no primary challengers. We've had several people on the show who are in the governor race. And of course, there's a lot of people running for that Republican governor spot. But in the state reps too, there's a lot of interest out there right now in making Illinois better. So tell me, you've told me about, and I like that, what you want to do for them. Tell me about you. Why pick you?
Yeah, so my wife and I, we are from Granite City. We're involved in our community. I sit on the local planning commission. My wife and I are co-leaders of our high school youth at our church, and we just had a newborn baby here in January. The reason that I think you should vote for me is because I believe not only do I align with all of your listeners here in terms of values, I'm a conservative, committed conservative, and I'll never waver. I'm pro-life, pro-Second Amendment, and I'll never vote to raise your taxes. I actually want to lower your taxes. But the reason I think you should pick me is because I actually believe that I can beat Katie Stewart. I've spent my entire career battling the Mike Madigan political machine, and I've won. And so we need to do that same thing here in the 112th. I've been intimately involved with 3 different races in Southern Illinois that have flipped House seats from blue to red, some of them being blue for a generation. I was a part of the team that picked off a sitting state Supreme Court justice in 2020 up in the 3rd District, a bought and paid for judge by Mike Madigan. I have experience. I know what it takes to beat Mike Madigan, and we're going to do that here in the 112th.
Awesome. Well, I want to encourage you, Joe, we've got like 30 seconds left here. Tell people if they want to get behind your campaign, what can they do to help you?
Yeah.
And, sometimes it's time, sometimes it's treasure. Sometimes people can give both. Sometimes people can only give one. Where can they go to help you, and what can they do to help Illinois get some common sense back in Springfield?
Look, resources are always great to get the message out, but what I really need is some grassroots effort. That's what it's going to take to beat Katie Stewart. If you just go to joehackler.com, HACKLER.com, sign up, get involved, get a yard sign, volunteer to knock doors and make phone calls to voters. That's what our campaign needs, and that's what's going to beat Katie Stewart.
All right, Joe, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
We're going to continue to cover these races with these guests, so you're going to get to know them even more on the air, spread out going into June 28th. June 28th is the day, folks. You get to have your preference heard on June 28th, and then into November, you got to fly that red flag high. So, Joe, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be talking to you again soon.
See you guys.
All right. Hannah is, you can go ahead, and Kevin is going to come sit in here with us. So we're just going to cycle through these candidates. Hannah is here ushering people in, and let's see here. Do you have the banner up for him?
Kevin?
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah. Hannah's going to keep getting us people as we go on, and we're going to spend another 6 minutes here with Kevin. Kevin, talk to us about who you are, what you're running for, and why you're out here at Shiloh at a golf course.
It's cold. It's
beautiful, sunny Friday morning.
A good day at the golf course beats a good day at the office.
That's for sure.
No, my name's Kevin Dawson. I'm 42 years old. I'm from Mascoutah. I was born and raised in Mascoutah.
Okay.
I went to McKendree College here locally in Lebanon, and I've been on the county board now, one of the 9 lonely Republicans on the county board. I've been there doing that since 2016.
Okay.
And I'm running for the state representative job for the 114th district now.
So we've talked to Joe Hackler. He's running in the Republican primary for the 112. We've got Kevin Dawson here running in the Republican primary for the 114th. Who's currently running that? Who's currently in the 114th?
That is Latoya Greenwood's district.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a tough district to win.
It is a tough district to win. I think that the map has changed just enough for the right candidate to take over that position. I think I'm the right candidate. Latoya Greenwood, she's been in this job for a while, and I think the apathy from Latoya Greenwood has trickled down to now creating apathy for the constituents, and they don't expect anything from her, and she's not providing anything. She can't answer the questions if she refuses to listen to the questions.
So has she really been in a position to have to answer any questions?
No, that's because this dangerous.
This is the St. Clair County Republican event here. That's why we're here.
Right,
yeah.
and this dangerous cycle that they've put us on, it's cyclical. And what's happened is that Joe referenced it before. People are leaving, and when people leave, the tax base suffers. When the tax base suffers, education fails. When education fails, crime increases, and then more people leave. We've got to get off this merry-go-round. Look, I like carnivals as much as the next guy, but we've got to get off
getting dizzy.
We're
starting to get nauseous.
We've got to get off this merry-go-round that the state legislature and the supermajorities put us on. We need that, and I think I'm the right person to run in this position because I've been there, I've done that. I don't just talk the talk. I've been walking the walk on the county board. You can look at I'm a proven conservative. You can look at my voting history. You can look at what I've done on the county board. And I was one of the Republicans on the county board that flipped the Democrat-controlled county board seat to take that over.
Made a big difference. So we're talking to Kevin Dawson here. He's running for the 114th Republican nomination that will take place on June 28th. You need to vote on June 28th or absentee if you can't be. I'm going to be out of town on June 28th, so I am going to make sure that I and everybody who is with me on that vacation has their absentee ballot in before we leave. Tell me about the 114th. Who is listening right now that might be included in that district?
If you live in North O'Fallon, north of Route 50, or if you live in Lebanon, Mascoutah, Fayetteville, Freeburg, Smithton, Millstadt, DuPont, South Cahokia Heights, and a portion of East St. Louis, then you are in the 114th district.
So was it more of East St. Louis previously than it is now?
It was more, yes.
Because it seems to me like the way Latoya Greenwood has run the district doesn't reflect the wills of, and I talk to a lot of people who are more in those rural areas. The places that you're listing right now, they have wants and needs that I don't feel like she's focused on.
Absolutely not. And I've gone time and time again, knocking on doors, talking to people, and they say, Who is the district? Who is the representative in this district? LaToya Greenwood. Who's that?
That's not good.
They don't know. They don't know who she is.
How are you going to represent the people in those rural areas and the urban areas?
Absolutely. How am I going to?
Yeah.
I'm going to because I'm going to do the same thing in the General Assembly that I've done on the county board. I'm going to vote for lower taxes. I'm going to try to control spending. I'm going to try to increase foot patrol for our sheriff's department and the law enforcement. Those things need to be taken care of. They're not being addressed right now. That recent crime bill that was signed last year is a complete disaster.
Yeah.
And all it's done is feed into this mechanism where the inflated budgets are now are not taking care of the matters that the urban or the rural communities need.
It seems as though the government we have in place right now serves the government we have in place.
Yeah,
right now and perpetuates it.
It's completely self-serving.
So, Kevin, talk to me about how people can support you. I will add too that all of the candidates that we're talking to on the 112th and the 114th today, they're looking to win that primary. These are the 112th and 114th are both seats that are currently held by Democrats. So, if these Republicans were to win these seats, it would be a flip in the House. And honestly, the entire state is resting on Southern Illinois to take care of business. The 114th certainly being one of them. How can people support you, Kevin?
Yeah. So when I go door to door, I hand them a card and it says it's got my cell phone number. And I don't hide it. My phone number is 618-401-4924. Call, text, send a pigeon with a note tied to his foot. Whatever you need to do to get a hold of me. You can also check out Dawson4, the number 4, Illinois.com. And I'm on Facebook. So look me up, call me. Anything that anybody
You want to hear
needs.
from people?
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's one thing that you will not get from LaToya Greenwood. I can guarantee that.
Kevin, a real pleasure to meet
Annie?
you. We'll be in touch with you, and we're going to win these seats one way or the other. And man, may
Absolutely.
the best person win. I'm excited.
We got to take it back one district at a time, starting with this one.
Amen.
Thank you.
114th District, Kevin Dawson. Thank
Thanks,
you
Annie.
so much. All right, Hannah, who do we have next?
Paul Evans.
Paul Evans, and you can tell because his shirt says Paul Evans for judge. So Paul, hi, thanks for being on here.
I am happy to be here.
So the camera we're going to talk to is right there. If you want to talk to people, if you want to talk to me, here I am.
Okay.
Paul Evans, you are running for. Tell people what you're
I
trying
am
to.
running for circuit judge for the new judicial circuit that consists of St. Clair County only. Again, politics in our courtroom has created this unusual situation. St. Clair County is now its own judicial circuit. I have run for judge before. I have been very consistent. We need to get our politics out of our courtroom.
Yes.
We have lots of situations where the general citizen does not feel comfortable, that if you don't have the right connected attorney or the right connections, it's going to affect you. I believe that I can serve the public well, where they know they're going to get a fair shake. Should be what's the law and what's the facts. It's not any of this other stuff of whether you were born in West Belleville or are you a member of the country club. So I still maintain that. People say that this can't be done. It can be done. There are a lot of upset people out there.
Yeah.
And I encourage them, take action, go and vote. That's a simple thing. We see a lot of people that are afraid to step forward when it comes to courthouse related matters. We've got to change that. I've been actively resisted in the past. I'm quite confident that they will actively resist me again. I'll keep
Sometimes
pushing.
that means you're right over the target, though.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we're speaking with Paul Evans, running for circuit judge in St. Clair County. I think that as a voter, judges is the most confusing thing that is usually on the ballot. I'm a Republican. And then you get to the judges, you're like, I don't really know what to do. What do you want those voters to know?
Okay. If there are 2 judges down, that means you pick one of the 2. Please pick me out.
Paul
I'll
Evans.
appreciate it.
That's what he's suggesting.
Paul Evans. A lot of times people do not understand that if there's just one name down, it's a judge up for retention. So judges don't run every time. They run for office the first time. If elected, they sit for retention. They have to get 60% of the ballot. Many people will say, I won't give them my vote. I'll skip that.
Mm-hmm.
A skip vote acts as a yes vote.
A skip vote is a yes vote.
So if you have a judge that you do not want that judge to be there, you need to actively vote no. I think this is an important thing that most people don't understand.
Will you be on there with another name then?
I am running against Kevin Horner.
Okay.
And he is part of the same crowd. It's almost like a conveyor belt in St. Clair County. They can almost pick out.
Is that in the primary or the general?
This isn't a general.
Okay.
I do not have a primary opponent.
So we're looking for Paul Evans' name on the general ballot in
Yes,
November.
I will be on the primary vote. Selfishly, I'm going to vote for myself. So I think I'm going to win the primary.
If you don't, then I would question your judgment. So yeah,
Yes.
that's a good point.
Yeah. And then, so I'm talking about the fall.
Okay.
But I encourage everyone, get out and vote. I've done a lot in politics over the years. And time and again, I've heard people say, my vote doesn't matter. Oh, please, it does. Many elections are decided by a vote per precinct. So your vote counts.
Especially in
your
these
neighbors.
local elections.
Very much so. If you look at our local races, it's a few votes here and a few votes there. Another major feature is this year we have new districts within St. Clair County. I sued the county last year and won. So we have new county board districts. This is a very competitive year. I don't think people realize the significance of that.
Yeah, this is going to be quite something, both in the primary on June 28th, which you don't have to worry about, but that general election, which I have it on my phone right here. I just keep it nearby. Let's see here. 186 days.
Oh,
for you.
Yes.
For the primary candidates here, maybe a few more. So if people want to support you, Paul, where can they go to support you, and how do you want them to support you?
The hard thing about a judge in Illinois is we can't be involved with our own fundraising, but I would appreciate funds to people who are helping me. The other thing is simply your vote, your awareness. If there are events, come out, talk to your neighbors, just general participation. I am on the web. I have a Facebook page. I've been at my law office for 30 years, 628-9092. Simply, I'm there at my office all the time.
Fantastic.
This is the way to get a hold of me.
That's awesome. Paul, a real
Thank
pleasure.
you.
We'll be in touch with you throughout the course of the election season.
Thank you very much, Amy.
Just 150, what did I say, 156 days or something like that?
Close.
We're getting
Yeah.
close. It'll go faster than you expected. Thank you.
Ashley Hunsaker.
Ashley, we've had Ashley on the show before. Hi, Ashley. How are you?
Good, thank you.
So we are out here at St. Clair County, the Republican golf tournament. It's the second annual, and a huge turnout on a unfortunately chilly, little bit wet, but it's not raining.
Right.
So
it's
we're pretty happy about this. So Ashley, you are running for
state rep
in the 113th.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Yep.
And do you have a primary challenge yet?
I do not.
You do not.
No. Nope.
So, but
just the journal.
will you be on the primary ballot? Will you need to
I
be?
don't think
it
so.
just
No.
is.
Yeah.
So the 113th currently represented by
Jay Hoffman.
another Democrat. So we
Yes.
have the 112th, the 113th, and the 114th. And these are all districts that if we win them with common sense Republicans, and we are once again blessed to have lots of really common sense candidates on the ballot, that you do need to weigh in on the primary ballot for some people, but not for Ashley. Ashley, tell me about yourself, why you chose to throw yourself into the dirty, nasty, icky realm of politics. You seem like a lovely person.
Oh, thank you.
You're
Thank you. So just a little bit about myself. My husband and I, we own a small business. We started it almost about 7 years ago. And our vision statement there is enhancing lives. And I just feel like politics is kind of just an overflow of that. So enhancing lives of the people who work for us, our family, and then it just goes deeper, right, into the community. So this opportunity came, and I thought, well, let me step into that, and maybe I can enhance lives there in my district and where I live, because that's what matters to me, right? People.
Absolutely. Ashley Hunsaker running for the 113th district. Tell me about what you stand for. I'm going to ask you about what needs to be fixed in the district, but just tell me about, let me learn about you a little bit before we talk about what we need to fix with the current representative.
Okay, sure. So what about me? I'm sorry.
Like what you stand for,
Oh,
what are the
okay, sure.
policies, the things about you that the people in the 113th go, that's my girl.
Yes. So I have 4 children. So
High
taxes.
five. People
Yes.
say dozens when they hear they have
Yes.
dozens of kids.
Yes.
It's actually just 4. Sometimes it feels
So our grocery bill is outrageous.
Yes.
You know, the grocery tax is ridiculous. So, and it filling up my minivan is also ridiculous. So those are those things that hurt me personally.
Mhm.
And so if it's hurting me, then it's also hurting people in my community. So that's why I want to stand up. Let's be fiscally responsible. So I do have a degree in accounting. So I want to make sure that we're.
you got your work cut off for you.
Yes, I do.
It's gonna be a tough road to hoe. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think it's impossible though, too. So like you said, let's just use some common sense, live within our means, spend what's important and forget the rest of it. And let's all live a good,
Mm-hmm.
you know, let's make the district a better place.
I think that's totally doable, especially with the right people. A lot of people always want to know about Second Amendment issues. I know that one of the things that Jay Hoffman has tended to do is be kind of a pro 2A Democrat, so he
Yes.
kind of becomes more palatable for some of those voters who might be in the middle. How do you feel about that?
So I am definitely pro Second Amendment for sure. I have my own 9mm, so yes, definitely.
That's good. That's good. So tell me about Jay Hoffman. Why does he need to go?
Oh, so a couple things. Like, first off is just that he's been in there for too long. So career politicians, I think, lose touch of the reality of life in our community. And so, and again, I'm there, I'm raising my family. I have a business right in our community. I know what it is like to, when things come down from Springfield, how to live with that. So somebody needs to be on the other end of the law too. Like, this is how it's affecting me. And we need a voice in Springfield saying, hold up, wait, do you know how this is affecting us in the real world? And I think Jay has kind of lost that touch. So that's what I'm bringing. So I'm new to politics, but definitely passionate about it.
I love it. So the 113th district, we've talked a little bit about the 112th. We've talked a little bit about the 114th. Who are we talking to right now that's sitting in the 113th? Like, what's the geography of it?
So, and again, I've been door to door quite a bit lately, and I've met a lot of moms just like me. So those mamas, they're concerned about what's being taught in our schools. They're concerned about the grocery bill and the gas and all of those things. And I want you to know that I hear you and I'm listening and I want to hear more. So contact me, ashleyforrep@gmail. Send me an email, because again, a state rep is representing people. So
you're
I want
there to be
that's
their
right.
voice, and you are serving them.
That's right. I want to serve well. So, and the only way that I can do that, God gave me 2 ears and 1 mouth. So let me hear twice as much as I speak.
I love that. So if you're in the 113th district, you want to make sure you connect with Ashley Hunsaker to learn more about her so that you can make a decision for yourself as to who you'd like to represent there. We have had some redistricting, so maybe some of the boundaries have been shifted. So
because I was in the 114, now I'm in the 113.
So tell me a little bit about the cities and the towns that are included.
It's all of Belleville, Swansea, Shiloh, a little teeny tiny bit of Fairview Heights. So if you're in Fairview Heights, double check. And then it goes up through Madison, Venice, and Washington Park.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how can people reach you and can support you? And what do you want to, what can they do for you to help you do something for them?
Sure. So we just scheduled our first fundraiser. So that'll be on June 14th, which is Flag Day. And we're going to be at Longacre Park at Moody. So in Pavilion number 2. So I'd love to have you guys come out, meet us, bring your kids, because I got 4 of them. They need,
entertainment.
Yes, for sure.
Yes. And your website? Do you have a website?
Yeah, it's www.ashleyforrep.com.
Awesome. How do you spell Ashley?
F-O-R, not the number 4.
Okay.
4, F-O-R.
Ashley,
ASHLEY, 1980s way.
Old school,
Yes.
1980s way to spell Ashley. Thank you so much.
Yes,
it's a pleasure to have you here. We're so great to have you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right. Ashley Hunsaker for the 113th district doesn't have a primary candidate to race to run right now. So if you were in the 113th, please connect with her and support her. It will be great to have as much grassroots movement for all of these candidates going into the general. All right, we got Jen next. Jen, a pleasure to have you here with me.
Nice to meet you.
This is Jen Korte, and Jen Korte is also running in the 112th. She is running in the Republican primary, and we're going to talk to this camera here. If you want to talk to the people, if you want to talk to me, that's absolutely fine.
Okay.
Jen, what are you a career politician, and this is what you've been working your whole life to achieve?
Quite the opposite. I've actually been a stay-at-home mom for the last 17 years, raising our 3 children. Before that, I was a social worker at Barnes-Jewish Hospital, so I have my master's degree in social work. But once my husband started traveling, it was important for me to raise our kids at home.
Okay, fantastic. So you are not a career politician, but something must have had to click for you that said, I got to not stay at home anymore. There's something more important or equally important that motivated you to be sitting here with me talking about the 112th State Rep District.
So there were actually 3 things. I did a Bible study fellowship, and then watching Katie Stewart's crazy legislation. But finally, it was when I got on board with Speak for Students with Ryan and Megan Cunningham. We wanted to have the choice whether or not to mask our children or not in the schools. So I got on board with them and did a lot of advocacy with them, spoke at some Madison County board meetings, tried to contact all of my representatives just to get some help for that choice, because my middle child was heavily affected by the masks and the isolation.
So just to be clear, Speak for Students, some people might not be familiar with that organization. You are a leader in the forefront of getting masks off of children's faces.
Yes, we did a lot of FOIA requests. We contacted our legislators. There was a lot of education on Facebook to let people know you need to do a witness slip. You need to contact your legislation. So I was one of the 50,000 witness slips that they said we were bots. We were not bots, but
Real angry people.
we were angry. We were ready for a change. And I felt like nobody was listening because frankly, they weren't. And I'm ready for a change.
Let me ask you about the efforts that you made along with Speak for Students and Katie Stewart. So were you in Katie Stewart's district before the redistricting? Have you been in the 112?
So I actually grew up in Highland. So I have been living in Edwardsville for the last year and a half. So yes, during that time, I was entirely in Katie Stewart's.
Did you guys try to contact Katie Stewart to ask her to help?
I did actually. And it was crickets. When I emailed her and asked her for some help, didn't get any kind of information from her. She didn't respond to me. And then in October, I was so angry when she voted to repeal parental notification for abortions because I feel like she's taken a lot of parental rights away.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think it's terrible. I mean, as a parent, I should have those choices for my kids. So I actually had a good 30-minute conversation with her about that, as well as her voting they changed some of the I forgot the name of the law, but I talked to her for 30 minutes and the conversation did not go well for her. And I told her at the end of that we were watching and we would vote accordingly and that she needed to start looking for her constituents and what they want, not necessarily for her agenda, because she has this huge agenda to get feminine products in men's and boys' bathrooms. And I ask you, with the high taxes, inflation, with our businesses struggling, with law enforcement under attack, is that really what is most important? Parental rights are under attack. And I would say, no, that is not what is most important.
When you were talking to her about these issues that were really important to you, not as somebody who wanted to challenge her in her position as a representative, but as a concerned mother.
Yes.
What was her overarching point? What did she want you to know about where she stood?
That she was right, for one. She tried to argue with me. At one point, I told her that there was no need for her to get snarky, that we could actually have a professional...
Was this in person or on the phone?
It was on the phone. I told her I would have coffee with her. I told her I'm actually a really nice person. And
just a really angry mom, which can be totally happening at the same time, I promise you.
It totally can. You mess with my kids, and I just wanted to raise the kids and keep my head down. And then when I realized that the government was major overreach over the children, and then getting her lack of response. And when I had asked her for some help with getting the masks off the kids for choice, I wanted choice. She acted like she had absolutely no power, which I find very interesting because we know through Mike Madigan and everybody else, she actually does have power. She's not utilizing the power she has.
No, she's utilizing the power that they have and use her for to exact over us in the 112th. Because I'm currently sitting in the 112th right now, but I will be in the 114th. The 111th with Amy Ellick. That's where they stuck me. They took me out of her district. So we're speaking with Jennifer Korte. She's running in the Republican primary for the 112th district. Tell us where people can connect with you if they want to learn more about you, because there's a primary. They need to get to know the candidates.
Absolutely.
What can they do to find out more about you, and also if they choose to support you?
So you can go on my Facebook page, Jennifer Korte, Korte. Sorry. And then
that's the easy question.
Well, on my license plate for a while, because people don't know how to say my name, it said Cordy. So for some reason, I was just thinking that. But you can go on my website is www.jenniferkorte.com.
Okay, fantastic. Real pleasure to have you on here. We'll
so
be in
much.
touch. All right. Thank you. Okay, so next up we have Hannah.
Kevin Schmidt.
Kevin Schmidt. Come on, have a seat, Kevin Schmidt.
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
Hi.
We are here out at Tamarack Golf Course in Shiloh for the St. Clair County Republican golf tournament, and there's a lot of people out here. There's a lot of excitement as well, and I want to make sure that you understand that these people are all working to advocate for you and to get some common sense rooted back in the state of Illinois. So Kevin, what are you running for, and what do you want people to know about Kevin Schmidt?
Well, I am running for state rep, 114th district. Those boundaries start with East St. Louis, Dupo, then Millstadt, Smith and Freeburg, New Athens, and then it cuts up Mascoutah, northern O'Fallon, Lebanon. It's kind of a horseshoe around Belleville. I'm a chiropractor, Dr. Schmidt. Everyone knows me as Dr. Schmidt, or my friends as Schmitty. I'm a business owner. My wife's family's business owners. They've got a 40-year-old business in town there, Custom Marble. We've seen a lot of the destructive policies come through. We actually feel it as business owners. And a lot of businesses are leaving the state of Illinois. I think that's because of the overhead that we face through all of the regulations, the sticker fees, the taxes. When I say sticker fees, for the vehicles, for all the deliveries, the workman's comp insurance, my malpractice insurance, it just forces people out. And we need to lower that overhead, keep businesses here, lower taxes, run the state more like a business, consolidate, streamline.
So you're running, and that would be against Latoya Greenwood, correct?
Correct.
And Latoya Greenwood do you know how long she's been the representative for the 114th? It's been a long time. I don't know off the top of my head.
How about too long?
Lots of years. And I know that a lot of people in the 114th definitely don't feel represented by Latoya Greenwood. There is a shift that has taken place in this last year because of the redistricting. And boy, the Democrats wrung every vote out of that redistricting that they thought that they could. But what's coming in November is pretty massive. And I don't know if they could overcome with redistricting the temperament that the people and even the state, the blue state of Illinois have. The 114th has been a blue district for a long time. What do you want people to know about how you would represent them differently than Latoya Greenwood?
Well, first of all, I don't think Latoya Greenwood represents the people. I think she represents lobbyists. I would be representing the people. I'd be representing the business owners. I'm pro-life, pro-Second Amendment. Like I said, I'm for less taxation. I actually have a plan to lower taxes through the consolidation efforts of the schools, consolidation of the different townships and villages. There's just too many layers of government. Latoya cares nothing about the people. She has 2 government jobs. She works for the school district, and she's a state rep. She doesn't care. At the end of the day, she gets her paycheck. We don't. And the people are leaving. That's what's happening. And when they leave, then the taxes go up more because the tax base is decreased.
Yeah.
So she doesn't care, and I think her party doesn't care. They care about getting reelected.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. They're politicians. They're well polished. They give great speeches. They make people feel good. But at the end of the day, they take your money.
So we're speaking with Kevin Schmidt, running in the 114th district primary right now. If you want to learn more about Kevin, we're going to give you that information here in a second. I get asked this question all the time. Of course, our radio show is centered in St. Louis City. People say all the time, Annie, when are you going to move? Why do you live in Illinois? Why do you live in Illinois?
Well, my family's been in the Belleville area for over 200 years. I talked to my grandpa, and they saw the downfall of East St. Louis, the downfall of Cahokia, now the downfall of Belleville. It's all because of poor leadership. Basically, I drew a line. I said, I've had enough, and I'm going to fight back. I'm not going to move out. And we've got businesses here. We've got a lot of invested. We've got a lot of skin in the game. Leaving's not an option, and I'm a fighter. So I've had enough.
You're willing to step in there and do something about it?
Yes.
Do you think that the state of Illinois is fixable?
Anything's fixable. I'm a chiropractor. That's what I do. I help
get
people.
Back in line.
I help people. So, anything's fixable. And I think, like you said, there's a big red wave coming. People are very upset for a number of issues. And it's time. We've had enough, and we're going to vote.
I love it. All right. Well, Kevin Schmidt is running for the Republican nomination in the 114th district, the district currently held by Latoya Greenwood. Where can people connect to you? How can they support you?
618-406-8677. That's 618-406-8677. And also you can go to schmidtforillinois.com, or you can just stop by my office and see me in person. I'm there. I got 2 offices, Millstadt and Freeburg. I run 2 of them. Just come by, talk to me in person. That'd be the best.
That's awesome. Well, pleasure to have you here with me. Thank you so much. We'll be in connection with you folks. If you are looking at watching this and you want to learn more about all these videos will be available after we get done here. And of course, the actual radio broadcast is going to start in about 26 minutes, but not until we get done talking with Mr. Paul Schimpf here with us, running for governor.
Governor of Illinois.
Governor of Illinois. You've done a little time in the General Assembly already. Paul Schimpf has been a state senator. Did you do time in the House at all?
No.
Did you do time?
Do time. That is a good way of putting it.
It's the way it feels for the people who are affected by the people in the House. Did you do time? You were in the Senate.
I was in the Senate. So I'm not a career politician. I spent my adult life in the Marine Corps.
Mm-hmm.
I was an infantry officer and a prosecutor in the Marine Corps, worked the Saddam trial when I was in Iraq. But I got out of the Marine Corps in 2013, came back to Illinois and got into politics because I believe you have no right to complain about stuff unless you try to make a positive change.
Yeah.
So I ran against Lisa Madigan in 2014, lost that campaign, thought I was done with politics. And then Dave Luchtefeld, who some of your listeners may remember that name, statesman as opposed to a politician, but he retired from the Senate and asked me to run for the Illinois Senate. And that's how I got sucked back in. So I ran for the Illinois Senate in 2016.
Yeah.
I won, and I was a senator for 4 years. And
Well, you've represented your constituents very well, and I feel almost silly asking you, like, why would you like to run for governor? Is there anything wrong with the current one? But I don't have that much time, so I got like 5 minutes. Sum it up for me, JB Pritzker. What's he done to the state?
Well, I want my boys, my boys are 14 and 16 right now. I want them to grow up in a safe, prosperous, and free Illinois. And that future is incompatible with JB Pritzker.
Yeah.
JB Pritzker has said that he wants to make Illinois the most progressive state in America.
He's doing a great job.
Well,
He's
think about it. So
hitting-
he's advocating for a future that has Illinois somewhere between California and Venezuela on the political spectrum. That's not what we want. He doesn't have any ideas other than bigger government and more taxes, and he really has curtailed our freedoms under his watch as governor. So I'm running because JB Pritzker has to go. There's a lot of choices in the Republican primary. There's going to be 6 of us on the ballot. I am the only one that can win, though, in the general election, because to win in the general election, you have to do 3 things. You have to be able to unite the Illinois Republican Party.
Mhm.
I've got the legislative record to do that. People know where I stand on the issues. I've got a conservative voting record, never, filed legislation to give the Illinois government new taxing powers. But you have to unify the party. You have to be able to get crossover votes.
Yeah.
I've shown that I can do that. When I ran against Sheila Simon for the Illinois Senate, we won that race by almost 22 points because I got a ton of crossover votes. And then the last thing you're going to have to do is be able to survive a $100 million character assassination, because that's what's coming.
Yeah.
I mean, JB Pritzker doesn't have a record that he can run on. He hasn't been able to solve the problems of our state. He, got a huge bailout from the federal government, and he's trying to take credit for that. You and I have talked about that before. But all he's going to be able to do is spend $100 million attacking his Republican opponent. He's going to have a very tough target with me, because I spent my adult life in the Marine Corps. And then, after that, I was in the Illinois Senate for 4 years. I've got a conservative voting record. But you know what? I can defend every vote that I took, and the people of Illinois will agree with me on the votes that I took.
Well, I think that Illinois is truly blessed to have a ton of wonderful options to replace JB Pritzker, but Paul Schimpf is absolutely one of them. And he's been a friend of our show since we have been on. You came on with me on Saturdays when I was doing the 2 hours on Saturdays. And I wish you well, and I'm glad you always spend time with us when we can fit you in on the show. And I think that you and the rest of the candidates that are running for governor are all fighting for a worthy cause. And I think that more than ever, people are like, "Oh, Annie, you think a Republican really win the governorship in the state of Illinois?" And I'm like, well, we just had a Republican governor, and the Republicans that are running now, I think, are even more qualified in substance to fix the state. And you're one of them. So we're glad you're here.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming out and covering all these great St. Clair County candidates and helping out the St. Clair County Republican Party.
You're going to need the
Well,
112th, the 113th, and the 114th if you're the governor of the state of Illinois.
Well, we have to remember that we as Republicans are all on the same team.
Mhm.
Ultimately, any Republican that goes into office will be better than JB Pritzker. There will be an improvement over JB Pritzker. And any, Republican that's going to go in the legislature and is going to say enough of this backdoor dealing, enough of the spending, enough of the growth of government, that's going to be an improvement. The issues that we are running on as Republicans, we're talking about parents' rights. We're talking about support for law enforcement. We're talking about, putting it into runaway spending and restoring trust in government. Those are not Republican values.
Yep.
Those are American values. And that's why we're going to be able to have a red wave this election, because the people of Illinois are ready for a change.
All right. Well, Paul Schimpf, where can people support you? How can they connect and learn more about you? Where do you want to send them?
Go to my website. It's Schimpf, the number 4, and then Illinois.com. So
Okay.
you gotta be able to spell my last name, Schimpf.
We got it up here on the screen,
Okay,
so
good.
people will have it. But yeah.
So Schimpf, the number 4.com. And if they go on there and they go to the issues tab, they can click on that. They can see my Parents' Bill of Rights proposal. They can see our New Start for Illinois policy agenda, the issues that we're running on, because you have to run on ideas.
Yep.
You can't just run on outrage and anger. You got to give people some substance. So yeah, go to my campaign website and they can find out all about us.
Real great to see you again, Paul. Thank you
Thanks,
so
Annie.
much. I think that's it, right? That's what we got. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody. We got a bunch of people out here watching. Hey! I hope they feel this way after the radio show is done and it's not crickets out there. We are going to leave the live stream going for right now, but we're going to turn the sound off for the moment, and we're going to get ready to do the actual radio broadcast. We are out here at Tamarack Golf Course in Shiloh for the St. Clair County Republicans' second annual golf tournament, raising funds to restore common sense to Southern Illinois. So thank you for being on here. We're going to put up the slate so that you guys can hang out with us, and we will be back with the live show at noon. Thanks, guys.
Of where we're at and how the oil embargo that the EU could be putting in place would affect this whole conflict. Cut 19.
This is absolutely one of the miscalculations that Putin made. He certainly underestimated the unity that the West would have as a result of his invasion into Ukraine. And you see it on the sanctions and how tougher they're getting, and now actually dealing with something that's going to hurt the Europeans, and that is an embargo on oil and eventually something to the same effect on gas. That could not have even been conceived of a couple of months ago, the Europeans moving in that direction.
Do you believe they will? We know that everyone's cutting back significantly. We have said zero. We're going to zero Russian oil and gas. Do you believe that the European Union will do what they say outside Hungary?
Well, they have to decide by unanimous vote, and Hungary has said it's against it. And they're looking for ways to persuade the Hungarians to go along, so we'll see. We should realize, too, that there's two separate issues here, oil and gas. And oil is, in some ways, the easier one for the Germans to embargo. Gas would be tough, but they're working on it. Europe has really behaved in this crisis far better than it has done in anything really since the end of the Cold War.
I'm thinking long term, Walter. This might be this huge conflict might enable us to truly pivot to China, because the Europeans will finally understand they have to take responsibility with our leadership of their own security, and that the Russian threat is real. We could say it over and over again. All these presidents have had the same complaint. Now they get it. So if they provide their own security and they start funding their own defense, that may allow us to really square off with our number one economic and military foe. Don't you agree?
I think that's possible. I also think that both the Russians and the Europeans and the Americans continue to wake up to China, that China has been a big supporter of Russia in this war. China has not criticized anything Putin has done in the war. And this is waking people up to just what we face.
Possibly. I think that's correct. Now, we hear that China had some overflights a couple of days ago over Taiwan. But if you're China, from the best you can understand from the context you may have and what you know about them, are they less or more likely to pull off this invasion of Taiwan after watching what happened with Russia and Ukraine?
Well, I think they're clearly very seriously rethinking now just what the Western response to an invasion would be and how much it would cost them. And we're reading about surveys they're doing. They're trying to understand what the impact of sanctions like the ones put on Russia would have on China and how that would increase the economic cost. So they're definitely thinking. And at the same time, there's been a lot of stuff in the press lately that the U.S. Navy and our forces are really not prepared to help Taiwan in the way we've helped Ukraine. We don't have the infrastructure in place to do that. So we've really, we've got to move very, very quickly because the Chinese will also be looking at that gap.
Why do you think they view us as a threat? When, from our perspective, we do not look, we're not looking to cause war with China. Now we're waking up to the threat that is China as they build their military and their economic power. Why don't you think they could say, let's compete? Why do you think they go out and say, we have to conquer?
Well, some of it really does have to do with Taiwan, which for a lot of Chinese emotionally is part of China. A lot of Chinese on the mainland. And so that's an issue that the central government can always hit. We should also look, their economy is slowing down. The central government is facing a lot of protests over problems in the real estate sector. Their stock market is not doing great. Their COVID policy is unpopular. So, having a foreign enemy can always be helpful when you've got a lot of domestic trouble.
So, create that enemy, get the people galvanized, who the problem is. I guess that's it. Part of their slowdown, Walter, has to be the fact that they locked down 25 million people in Shanghai and millions more in Beijing and had Hong Kong locked down too. A total overreaction for what we know about COVID-19. Don't you agree?
I think this is a problem they've got, that Xi Jinping has staked his personal prestige on the zero COVID policy. And clearly in the past, that zero COVID policy reduced deaths in China. But with Omicron, which is, much more contagious, the cost of that zero COVID policy are rising rapidly. But the Chinese government, because it's committed itself to this, and the all-powerful Communist Party of China has said this is the way. They're having a very hard time thinking through changes in policy.
And Walter, lastly, just to pivot back to Russia, there's two stories out. One that we played a role in providing the intelligence that ended up the deaths of 12 Russian generals. And we provided the intelligence to allow Ukraine to blow up the #1 warship in the Russian Navy. And if that is now public, although I love that we're doing it, I see the objective of being right. How do you feel about this being public and pushing an seemingly unstable leader like Vladimir Putin with nuclear weapons to the brink? Do you see a danger in that?
Well, of course there's a danger. It's hard to tell, what other messages are going through. I mean, hopefully the U.S. is explaining to Putin on a number of channels that for him to go nuclear, say to use a tactical nuclear weapon in Ukraine, would create even more blowback and even more of a crisis. But by pushing Putin into a corner and then advertising the degree to which the Americans are helping Ukraine, we're clearly turning this into a very, very high-stakes international crisis.
And
I hope we win. I hope we're ready for it, and I hope we win.
But your latter point is clumsy, don't you think?
Well, again, we'll have to see what, is there a plan behind the plan? I don't know. But yes, it's high stakes. It's doubling down on something that could lead to the kind of confrontation we haven't seen since, say, the Cuba Missile Crisis of the early 1960s.
And going back to Secretary of Defense Austin says one of the things we want to do is have a weakened Russia so we don't have to deal with this again in a few years.
Right.
I love that sentiment. That's the main reason why it matters. But saying it publicly, if it's a tactic, okay. But if it's just not well thought out, I have a problem with that. What do you think? Is it a tactic?
I agree with you completely there, Brian. It's, if they have a carefully calibrated plan and these public statements are part of a larger plan to take, to really use this crisis to push Putin back, great. But if this is kind of, casual, feeling the exuberance of the morning and moment and letting off steam, they're actually making the situation much more dangerous.
It's always great to talk to you. Walter Russell Mead, thanks. And I look forward to your book, The Ark of a Covenant. It's available for pre-order right now, and it's going to be out July 5th. Thanks, Walter.
Great. Thank you, Brian.
You got it. Talk to you again soon. I'm going to wrap up this hour and give you the latest. We're still following that story about that Russian warship that might have been hit by Ukrainian surface-to-air missiles. That's going to be great. And we'll be also exploring mysterious fires that are popping up in Russia. You listen to the Brian Kilmeade Show. We also will try to squeeze in some calls. 1-866-408-7669.
Learning something new every day on the Brian Kilmeade Show.
As we age, the fatigue and failing endurance we feel can't be fixed with just more caffeine and more caffeine. Introducing a new way to start your day. Jot this down. It's called Super Beats Heart Chews. Every time I introduce them to somebody, they thank me the next day. They're a tasty treat that help you get the energy you need, and they're good for you. No more afternoon coffees. They don't work. Energy drinks aren't effective. Candy for a quick pick-me-up doesn't work for me anyway. Add 2 delicious plant-based Super Beats Heart Chews to your morning routine and promote heart-healthy energy for your day without that caffeine crash, which always comes. Grapeseed extract is the key. It's used in Super Beats Heart Chews, been clinically shown to be 2 times as effective as supporting normal blood pressure as a healthy lifestyle alone. Now, for my listeners, you get up to 45% off, plus free shipping at superbeats.com/Brian. Just go there now. It's the best offer available anywhere. That's superbeats.com/Brian. Up to 45% off at superbeats.com/Brian. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barata. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
The Annie Frey Show.
Speaking with Eric Schmidt right now, the Attorney General of the state of Missouri. Do you believe that this SCOTUS leaker is going to be labeled a hero or a villain?
I mean, ought to be a villain.
Noon to 3 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Nobody wants to miss the important things in life, and if it's because of bad vision, you don't have to. Mark Cox here from my friends at Brenton Vision. They can help you out. That's why I want you to take 2 minutes today to call my friends at Brenton at 314-375-2020 or go online to brentonvision.com. Your eyes are as unique as your fingerprint. Since Brenton Vision is the only place in Missouri offering all 7 forms of modern vision correction, they can create a customized treatment plan just for your vision. They helped my wife out. She chose the lens replacement therapy and now sees better than ever, and she loves it. You can have that same experience with Brenton Vision. They accept flex plans and medical spending plans as well at Brenton. So don't let that money expire or go to waste. See your best. Do what we did. Call Brenton Vision at 314-375-2020 or schedule online right now at brentonvision.com.
Camping season is here, and Apache Village RV Center's open house May 6th and 7th is the perfect time to shop RVs from Jayco, Keystone, and Fleetwood. Family owned and operated for over 40 years. Apache Village Open House will offer huge discounts to fit every budget, plus special giveaways, Barbecue Friday, and the local famous Pueblo Nuevo catering on Saturday. The Apache Village Open House, May 6th and 7th, located in Hazelwood.
The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, The Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Station.com. So busy, he'll make your head spin. It's Brian Kilmeade.
Roe is over 2-1 in approval. And Alito and them said, we don't care. We're not fair, and we don't care And all the Democrats are going to do is sit around and talk about veganism and pronouns. And to some extent, that is a justified opinion that they have.
That is James Carville talking about how poorly the Democrats are playing this. And the fact is the Supreme Court should not be worried about popularity. It should be talking about the Constitution. So his attack on the Supreme Court is not really an attack. Let's find out if there's even more to know.
More to know.
Lighter note, Tom Brady admits his tuck rule that might have been a fumble. Remember, his hand was going back. He was tackled. The ball came loose. They said it was no fumble because he was in motion. Let's listen to Tom Brady. This was the pivotal moment in his career because the Raiders were lost to the upstart New England Patriots who go to the Super Bowl, and Tom Brady starts his remarkable run. Had he been sacked, Drew Bledsoe might have got the job back, and we might not have even thought that Tom Brady would have amounted to anything.
Tuck rule game against the Raiders might have been a fumble.
That is to Justin Bieber on his podcast, right? Brady's first postseason appearance. The tuck rule is now official. Brady posted a video on Twitter. To me, he's just having fun, right?
I agree. Like the fact he's like joining Bieber on his podcast, he's enjoying life.
Next, Phil Mickelson's gambling losses in a brand new book are highlighted. This is unbelievable. They say one of the greatest lefties ever, if not one of the greatest golfers ever, federal auditors discovered his gambling losses total of $40 million between 2010 and 2014. Does he have anybody in his family just rein him in?
Clearly not. But I mean, I'm not sure of his total net worth, but $40 million, he's still okay financially.
The golf star's annual income in 2012, it was estimated to be $48 million. He netted about $1 million in 1 week from Dean Foods stock deal. The book also said Mickelson's split with longtime caddy Jim McKay was because he wasn't paying him. He was late on his payments. Next, the University of South Carolina blasted over a white student accountability meeting. They had this meeting they called, description was white student accountability. The purpose was engaging in this project to threefold. To number one, help social students recognize both their contribution and responsibility to dismantling racism. Number two, to encourage students to use their voice, power, and privilege to enact change in their classroom, community, and practice, and support students in developing skills to host similar groups among peers. So what role do you have as a white guy while you're paying all that money to go to the University of South Carolina?
Well, apparently the university gave a statement to Fox saying the accountability group was part of a student's project and was not part of an officially sponsored collegiate college of social work activity.
The TPUSA chapter president at the University of South Carolina says it's just very sad and disappointing that the university would organize an event that promotes legitimately racist ideas. Next. Oh, my goodness. That's it? Is that what this music means?
It means, it is it.
That is all we need to know.
That's all we need to know. And it's time for you to promote what's going to be on One Nation.
Oh, on One Nation, we're going to have John Tapper. We're going to have Robert O'Brien. We're going to have the president of the Heritage Foundation and Chris Rufo to talk about where the corporations are. Why are they standing up and taking on Roe versus Wade? I'll tell you. 1 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Did you know that nearly 4.5 million U.S. manufacturing jobs were lost in the last 20 years? The reality is the U.S. textile manufacturing industry is hanging by a thread. Not good. Well, one U.S. company is doing something about it. Redland Cotton makes 100% cotton sheets, towels, and quilts right here in the U.S. Their commitment to U.S. manufacturing starts at the ground level. All of their products are made with cotton grown directly on their family farm in Alabama. From South Carolina to Missouri to Maine, Redland Cotton is utilizing the textile industry here at home and creating jobs. What's even better? Redland Cotton makes the old school sheets, crisp, cool, and built to last a lifetime. So whether you're in the market for sheets, quilts, towels, or blankets, or anything else, Redland Cotton is the place to go. It's America's source for products made right here in the USA. Are you patriotic? I'm sure you are. I love my Redland Cotton sheets and everything else. You will too. So save 20%. 20% on your first purchase by using my name, Brian. That's Brian. So go to redlandcotton.com, promo code Brian, save 20%. That's redlandcotton.com. Do it now.
Hey friends, it's Annie here, and the Fed Reserve could continue to raise rates again. The value of the dollar is going down. Here's what you can do about that. Take down my friend Stewie's cell phone number, 314-324-4440. Don't worry, I'm going to repeat it again here in a minute. Next, call or text Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage and cash out so you can invest the money. Invest in your home, remodel, pay off credit card debts. Take money out now and invest it because the rate of inflation is higher than what it's going to cost you to borrow. Remember, too, that when the feds raise interest rates, your credit card rates are going to go up. Use your cash to pay off high-interest loans. Cashing out lets you turn your home equity into cash. You'll lock in a low interest rate on a new mortgage before the feds raise rates. And, of course, when you call Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage and get the bagel loan, 0 closing costs on minimum loans of $200,000. Don't wait. Google the bagel loan. Text or call Stewie on his cell, 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440, and MLS number 226715.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk. An Odyssey station.
The White House doubles down on Lisa Brady. Fox News facing questions for a second day about a call to action from abortion rights advocates after a leaked draft opinion suggesting the U.S. Supreme Court is set to overturn Roe versus Wade.
Outgoing White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki was specifically asked about targeting Supreme Court justices at their homes with protests, and she said the president and the White House support peaceful protests. She didn't want to bite on that question anymore. We do know that this group called Ruth Sent Us, a nod to the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, are posting online the home addresses of the 6 conservative justices on the court, encouraging people to walk by and demonstrate next week. The group is not calling for any violent protests, but going to private homes raises questions.
Fox's David Spunt at the White House. A bipartisan bill in the Senate would allow round-the-clock security for the justices and their families. A deadly disaster unfolding in Cuba, where an explosion has done heavy damage to a hotel in the capital, Havana. Cuban officials reporting at least 4 people dead and that the preliminary investigation blames a gas leak. The blast blowing out multiple lower floors of the Hotel Saratoga, sending clouds of dust into the air. The Ukrainian president remains defiant and hopeful, even as Russia keeps bombing his country.
We are already preparing the big plan of reconstruction for Ukraine because we are absolutely certain that we will defend our independence and regain that territory.
President Zelensky speaking remotely to a British group today and vowing the besieged city of Mariupol will not fall. Ukrainian fighters there remain holed up in a steel plant where a UN-led effort to evacuate civilians continues. America is listening to Fox News.
I tend to second-guess dinners with friends because they're often interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit Creon.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREON.com.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Chilly times on this Friday afternoon. The high 65 degrees, cloudy and rather windy. Some gusty winds, any rain and non-severe thunderstorms coming to an end, but it's a slow process. Tonight, slow clearance, stays windy, 48. Saturday, partly to mostly sunny skies, but a little cool, 60s to near 70. And Sunday, partly sunny and 79. This is 97.1 FM Talk, Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's happening right here, right now.
These justices are acting like this is somehow something that they have the right to change.
Say it with me. We are not going back. We are not going back.
Roe says what all basic mainstream religions have historically concluded.
Abortion is religion for the far left, and they are willing to do anything to defend that religion.
97.1 FM Talk.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
No pain, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Diabetic neuropathy, cold feet, resting leg pain, foot wounds that don't heal. These are classic signs of peripheral artery disease, or PAD. Left untreated, PAD can lead to gangrene and even lower limb amputation. Modern Vascular is a healthcare leader in the outpatient treatment of PAD. Last year, over 10,000 patients across the country chose Modern Vascular for the diagnosis and treatment of their PAD. Modern Vascular clinics consistently receive high Google review ratings and have received over 500 five-star patient reviews in the last 12 months. In fact, Modern Vascular has been recognized as the best PAD treatment specialist in the country. If you or someone you love is experiencing the symptoms of PAD, don't ignore it. Visit modernvascular.com today or call 844-4PAD-HELP to schedule a consultation in our local clinic. That's 844-4PAD-HELP.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules.
There's a campfire smell coming from your fireplace and pieces of brick in your yard. Who can I trust? English Sweep Certified Sweeps and Master Masons will solve all your chimney needs. Protect your investment. Get back to important things in your life. Go to EnglishSweep.com.
The best way to listen to music is at a concert in the front row. And the best way to eat a Nature Valley Crunchy Bar is outside. Somehow it makes the crunch even crunchier and the whole grains even whole grainier. See for yourself with Nature Valley.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Lori Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
If you're retiring soon, join us Saturday at 9:30 a.m. for your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Odyssey is an all-encompassing audio landing zone where you can find podcasts in any genre and listen live to 97.1. Not to mention that you can rewind within the last 24 hours. 97.1 FM Talk on the go. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock. River views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. The Loading Dock on the river in Grafton, Illinois.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on a Saturday, and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Well, you're right to ask this question because this is far beyond just an attack on women's rights and women's reproductive rights in particular. They're coming after marriage equality next. They're coming after birth control. They're coming after employment and housing protections for marginalized and minority communities. Honestly, I've never seen a more virulent attack on people's rights than is occurring over the last couple of years and now culminating with this first decision. But you can see more cases that Republicans in other states are attempting to take to the Supreme Court so that they can reverse rights that seem to have been established now for decades, if not for half a century.
JB Pritzker saying that he's never seen an attack like this, which is funny because I'm surrounded by people who feel attacked by JB Pritzker every single day. I'm sitting in Shiloh, Illinois at the St. Clair County GOP golf tournament at Tamarack Golf Course. And I got to tell you what, there's a ton of people out here who are looking to restore some common sense to the state of Illinois. Of course, I've been one of those people for a while now, but the movement is it's big and it's hot. And we're visiting now with Cheryl Matthews, the St. Clair County Republican chairman, with us. Cheryl, thank you for being out here, for having us out here. It's great to meet with you.
We are so glad that you're out here with us, and we appreciate all that you've done.
Thank you. So the St. Clair County Republicans, I often say, if we're talking about like Illinois Republicans, people are like, what's that? And I'm like, I'm an Illinois Republican. There are a lot of us, but we kind of feel homeless sometimes. In St. Clair County, I hear people all the time talking about how St. Clair County, that there's a lot of movement that needs to be made in St. Clair County to get it back on track. And you guys have been doing such a great job.
We have been really busy in the last year, and it's been great. At the Chili Fest, we had people come up and say, I didn't know there were any Republicans in St. Clair County.
That's not great. A whole bunch of them right here. I'm surrounded by them right now.
Well, yes, we are here.
Mm-hmm. So tell me what is the overlying attitude that exists for Republicans in this area? I mean, if I'm from Madison County, but I'm sure we have a lot of the same concerns. But you guys are an organization that is put together to help further the Republican cause. When you're talking to people, what are their biggest concerns?
A lot of the things that the candidates have already said. They're concerned about the schools, about parenting, the taxes. Property taxes is a really big deal. Mm-hmm. And all the things that just affect us daily. And people want to have a change. It's been a long time with change happening. Mm-hmm. And so we want to help move that along.
Well, that's awesome. So this event, like I said, is being held at the Tamarack Golf Course. And we're going to be broadcasting out here throughout the course of the entire show. So we're here till 3 p.m. and we're going to be doing our normal Friday show. Brad is here with me. Hi, Brad.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, I'm one of those St. Clair County Republicans.
And we do exist.
And I'm just up the road from here.
Yeah, so. I almost sent him to his house to get a blanket. So Brad is out here with us. And Hannah is out here making the stuff happen as well. Hannah, hi.
Hello, happy to be here. It's freezing, but
your
glad we're here.
Yeah, who knew May 6th would be this cold? So it's a big week for you, Hannah. Your first 97.1 event at the Heritage event with Jim Carafano and Hans von Spakovsky, and now you're broadcasting on location.
Yes, my first remote. Yeah, big work week.
Yes,
I'm so happy.
Well, we are excited to be out here. Brian, our engineer, is doing a great job keeping us up on the air. It's not going to rain at all. I was told that it cannot rain because there's chicken.
There's chicken. That's exactly. Yeah, that's a quote.
I mean, literally, I go. We got a lot of equipment out here. So I don't remember who it was I was speaking with. But I was like, we got a lot of equipment out here. Is there any chance you think that it's going to rain out there? And they said, no, absolutely not. We're all good. And then they walked away. They're like, can't rain. We got fried chicken. And I go, I don't know if this is science, but what is science anymore?
Well, if it doesn't rain, that proves it, right?
Yeah.
It's a scientific method.
We got to get the chicken. We should have gotten the chicken like the last time we were out trying to. It's just ridiculous. So there's a lot going on in the world right now. Of course, a lot of it is reflected in the state of Illinois. We're going to hear from Joe Concha in the next segment, and we're going to talk to him about some of the crazy stuff that's been going on, of course. And we've got Kevin Wheeler. He's on at 105. Is that right, Brad? 105.
105. Kevin Wheeler.
So we're going to talk to him about Blues hockey. Game tonight?
Yes. Is there?
Blues? Yes.
Okay, yeah, there's going to be a game tonight.
Yes. Yeah, I got a thumbs up. It's a home
game. Yeah, the first home game of the playoffs.
My other producer over there saying, I thought you would know. He was on his phone. I caught him off guard. So we're going to cover all of that stuff. We've got an Annie, Are You Okay? We've got an Ask Me Anything, and we are streaming live. You can watch the broadcast taking place from the golf course in the usual places on the Annie Frey YouTube channel, the Annie Frey Show Facebook page. So let's get back to Cheryl here, the St. Clair County Republican Party chairman. What are your thoughts about the candidates that you've got running that are out here? You think we have a good slate to choose from in the Republican primary and then in the general?
I do. I really do. So many people have come up after an election and said, there were no Republicans on my ballot. Mm-hmm. And this year it was our goal to have a Republican in every single slot. And we've 98% there.
That's fantastic. So tell me, for the people who said, I didn't know that there was a Republican in St. Clair County. What is the St. Clair County Republicans? Like, what are you, and how can people get involved or check it out if they're kind of interested?
We are working people. We've got families. We've got retired people. We've got young families involved. everybody needs to do their part
Mm-hmm.
because it's a big county and we need to get a lot of work done. If people would like to get involved, we've got a website. It's stclaircountyrepublicans.com. We have a office that you can come by and visit. We've got all the campaign signs and literature there that they can pick up.
So people can come to you if they want to support
Yes.
one of these candidates. They can get a
Yes.
sign from you.
They can.
That's fantastic. Now we have an event coming up that, can we talk about that?
Oh,
Should
please.
I was just saying, maybe I should have asked you this off here. We're about to talk about it to all of the St. Louis metro area that I will be a part of. And it's a moderation of a governor forum.
Mhm.
So talk to me about what this event looks like, when it is, and how people can get connected to that.
Okay. It's May 14th. It's going to be at the Hofbrau House in Belleville. There is going to be a private reception that people can
Mhm.
pay to attend. That's going to start at 10 o'clock. The forum itself is free and open to the public at 11 o'clock. We have already sent the questions out. We tweaked the questions so that the candidates will have in mind what's going to be asked so they can stay on topic.
Okay.
We don't want any candidate bickering back and forth. That's not the purpose of this, but we want them to address the issues. So we've got 7 questions. Each candidate will get to answer it. And then we've customized a question for each candidate that they'll just have to answer off the cuff.
So the questions and will be asked to the candidates, like you said, the first ones you sent to them, and it isn't a debate. It's more of a
Yes.
Q&A so that
Yes.
people can, in the flesh, get to know these candidates. You have every candidate except for Richard Irvin showing up to this. Is that
Yes.
so?
We have 5 candidates.
Mhm.
Irvin declined. And so we're going with what we've got.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
It's worth it to have it. You know, we've had Richard Irvin in studio, and I thought he was very compelling when we had him in studio, and I hope that he participates in some more of these events, and we can get him down here and get him to participate. I'm sure
Yes.
that the St. Clair County Republicans would like to be involved in that
Yes,
as
we
well.
would.
But Darren Bailey will be there. Paul Schimpf, who has been here today, is going to be there among the other candidates, and we've had them all on the show, and we're going to continue to have them. We were supposed to have Jesse Sullivan on this week, but that kind of got bumped because of the Rose stuff. So are you going to be at that event, Brad?
Yes, yeah, I'll be there. I'll be out there to help out in whatever capacity is needed.
It's such a Brad thing to say. So, and you said the forum is free.
Yes.
But if people want to go to the private reception at the beginning, is that a fundraiser for
us? Yes, it is.
What do you do? What fundraisers like this? So the golf tournament here is today. What do you use those funds to help do?
People are asking that. We raise the funds so that we can help the various campaigns. No, we do not give money straight out to each candidate. Our goal is to help all the candidates. So we will have events, sponsor events, so that all the candidates can come and have a chance to interact with the voters who come. We have a place. We have a storefront.
Mm-hmm.
We have to pay rent.
Yeah.
We have to pay utilities on it. But that is a place where we have had the literature, the signs. We've had meet and greets there. We've done videotaping of interviews. Some of the candidates chose to have their announcements at our headquarters. So it's a space that's for all the candidates.
Yeah. So it's a hub, and
It is.
and you're supporting the cause in a really great sense. A lot of people out here today at the Tamarack Golf Course, the St. Clair County GOP Golf Tournament. And, you know, the events like this that will be happening in the future, if you want to be notified of them so you can participate in them, certainly log on to their website at stclaircountyrepublicans.com so that you can see things that are coming up. The forum is listed there on their website. Other things that they'll be doing in the future will be listed there as well. Last question before we have to take a break here, Cheryl. We're speaking with Cheryl Matthews, the St. Clair County Republican Party chairman. I'm curious how I'm big on the idea that in order for the state of Illinois to get back to a place of common sense, that we need a strong St. Clair County Republicans. We need a strong Madison County Republicans, go all over this Southern Illinois and join those people together. And those people are going to have to join with Northern Illinois. And yes, even Chicago in order to in order to get this state back on track.
Oh, yeah.
How do you work with other Republican organizations to make sure that we have a strong, unified team, a unified effort going into Election Day?
There is a county chairman's organization. So anytime we have an event here, I let that person know, and then they spread the word. I also send out email blasts to the various chairmen of the other counties surrounding, so that we just keep each other informed of what's going on. All the surrounding counties are welcome to come to the Governor Forum, because this is an opportunity to see 5 of the candidates together and to get to know what do they stand for.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for people. Thank you, Cheryl, so much for having us out here.
Thank you.
We love this opportunity, and it's been such a pleasure to be able to get connected with your organization. We hope to do many things in the future, including May 14th when we'll be out. I will be moderating or hosting, whatever the term is, for that governor's forum, and get to see some of those candidates and hopefully get to see you. So get connected and get signed up to be there. Jake, let's go to a break right now. We got Jake back in the studio, taking care of everything, making sure that we are running and operating nice and smooth. Joe Concha is going to do a hit with us here in just a minute. So stick around. The Annie Frey Show broadcasting live from the Tamarack Golf Course at the St. Clair County GOP Golf Tournament. Tons of fun out here. The weather is cooperating just fine. So stick around. Joe Concha on the Annie Frey Show in just a minute.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show. 97.1 FM Talk. Uncensored discussion that's free in more ways than one. This is where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk. Right here, right now.
Joe Biden's weakness has emboldened our enemies. Now Vladimir Putin, Communist China, and Iran's mullahs are threatening our security. Where does Mary Miller stand? Mary Miller voted with AOC, Bernie Sanders, and Ilhan Omar to defund our military. That's right. Last year on December 7th, Mary Miller voted with the Socialist Squad to cut off funding for our heroes in uniform at a time when America's adversaries are on the march. Mary Miller can't be trusted. Fortunately, there are conservatives like Rodney Davis in Congress who support our military. Rodney Davis voted to increase the defense budget and give our troops a pay raise.
I'm Rodney Davis. I will always have the backs of our brave men and women in uniform. That's why I voted to strengthen our military, to keep America safe. I believe in peace through strength. I'm Rodney Davis. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Rodney for Congress.
Michael's Flooring Outlet online at michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Easier to remember, igotfloored.com. The beautiful flooring that you are looking to put in your home to replace that dingy stuff that's there, you can find that at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They do have 3 locations that you can shop. One's in St. Charles County on Main Street in Old Town St. Peters at Mid Rivers and Highway 70. The other one in West County, you can go to Olive Boulevard, just a mile off of 270 West on Olive. You can also shop their store in Darting Prairie, but for folks who are like sitting where I am right now in Illinois and you want to do a little perusing before you make it out to the store, just go to igotfloor.com. You can check out their Mohawk silk, their Smart Strand Mohawk silk flooring is a luxurious experience to put in your home. I adore having carpet in my home. It makes it warm and cozy and easy to play with the kiddos on the floor. So if you're looking to replace your flooring in your house with some luxury carpet that's really going to stand the test of time, that Mohawk Smart Strand is a great option. And the customer sales staff at Michael's, they're going to help you throughout the entire process. You can find all the information you need online at igotfloored.com.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas. Actual Pie customer.
Workers' comp can crush a small business. Every year would jump 5, 10, 15, 20%. Even though there was never any claims. And that's where I was struggling as a growing business.
That's Mike Lozier, owner of Gutter Plumber, a small business in New Jersey. A while back, Mike found his workers' comp costs rising. Luckily, he discovered Pie Insurance.
From start to finish, it was extremely easy. They quickly came back to me with a plan that was affordable for me.
Are you overpaying for workers' comp? Just go to trypie.com, share a few details about your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle or hidden fees. Like Mike, we think you'll be glad you did.
I'm very happy that I moved over to Pie for my workers' comp so that I can grow my company while not breaking the bank.
Find out how much you could save with Pie Insurance. Ask your agent or get a quote at trypie.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, healthcare, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
It's time for an $89 AC tune-up.
CheryLKelly.com.
This is the Annie Frey Show. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Lots to pay attention to, which is why we talk to people like Joe Concha, who are paying attention to all of it, political columnist at The Hill, Fox News contributor, and joining us again here on the Annie Frey Show. Joe, welcome back to the show. Great to have you.
I love I have a theme song now on here.
I
mean,
found
that's
that
when you
for
know you've
you.
arrived.
Yes, thank you for noticing. Put the SCOTUS leak on Roe v. Wade's potential overturning in the context of all of these other dumpster fires that are they're bigger than that at this point. What are we supposed to be paying attention to?
Well, I think the leak is notable because, look, Washington, at last check, Congress leaks and the Senate leaks and the White House leaks, and there's leaks everywhere. It's as common in Washington as the football team being mediocre and lawmakers spending money that they don't have, right? It's just something that's part of life there. But the Supreme Court has always been this leak-free utopia, right? Where the leaks didn't happen. You have to go back to like 1973 the last time any sort of major leak came out of the Supreme Court. And sure enough, now 3 have happened this year already, which is incredible. You remember when Justice Breyer was retiring, and then suddenly, hey, it's leaked that he's going to retire, and he didn't even they didn't give this guy the courtesy to announce his own retirement. So somebody within those walls decided to put that out there probably for political purposes on some level, right? Because it got a lot of attention, because you get not only the leak and then people talking about it, but then you get the actual announcement, and then that gives the news cycle more legs on one story. So that was a leak, and maybe that wasn't that big of a deal. But then you remember also Justice Gorsuch and Sotomayor. Right. Sotomayor was saying that, boy, I am very uncomfortable with Justice Gorsuch not wearing his mask around me. Right. And this got all sorts of play, like, see, the Republican justice is trying to kill the liberal justice because he won't wear his mask because he doesn't believe in science. All these ridiculous headlines. And then both justices came out, Gorsuch and Sotomayor, and said, no, this was never said. This never happened. All right. And the story is BS. So that's twice now. And then obviously we see what happened here with this decision. And I hear this theory that actually it was a conservative clerk that probably put this out. And look, why do you leak? You leak because there's got to be some sort of benefit to it, right? You're trying to shape a narrative. You're trying to push a story in a certain direction. I don't see how a conservative clerk putting this out there helps push this in any positive direction, because what it does is it dominates the news cycle for many days, as it has. Then it takes inflation, crime, education, border, Ukraine off the news cycle. So I'm pretty sure that this came from somebody liberal within that organization and or that entity. And whoever did this, I would hope that when it is found out that they did this, that they're fired and they're prosecuted, because this is a very big deal. Yet now we hear from Democrats, of course, saying, well, the leak is not a big deal. Jen Psaki dismisses it, and Adam Schiff laughably dismisses it. The king of leaks, right? The godfather of leaks says, the leak is no big deal.
Isn't that concerned?
And they say that. And they say, this is all about Republicans ultimately wanting to ban abortion in all 50 states, which, of course, it's not. This means it just goes back to the states. And if states want to say after 15 weeks that you can't have an abortion, well, a majority of the American people, according to polling, actually believe in that. I'll leave it here as far as the narrative. You would think by watching the news, by watching most media outlets, that we are an 80-20 pro-choice to pro-life country. That almost everybody's pro-choice. It's like legalizing pot, right? It's gone completely in the pro-choice direction. It hasn't. You look at Gallup, it's directly down the middle, boom, 50-50 as far as pro-life and pro-choice. And I would think as you get later into a pregnancy, then more and more the polls decidedly go in the conservative direction, saying, hey, after one trimester, I'm sorry, not a good idea to abort a baby because now it has a heartbeat, and that's basically murder. And that's how a lot of moderates feel, and that's why that polling goes in that direction. But if you listen to our media, you would think that everybody is horrified by this potential decision coming down when they're really kind of not.
Yeah, and if they understand that it's not a banning of abortion, if you just pay attention to the details and the facts, which you've just given us a ton of them, they'd understand that if you live in a blue state, you're probably still, like I live in Illinois, you're still going to be able to have abortions galore. In Missouri, on the other hand, no, not so much. I mean, it's a states' rights issue, and I was saying this a little bit earlier in the show, but you get the idea more and more that these people just hate the Constitution. They just want to have their way, and they kick and scream literally in the streets until they try to get it.
And here's the thing, the kicking and screaming, Democrats have a real discipline problem as far as their emotions are concerned. And I get that a good passionate speech once in a while can really resonate. But when every day is hyperbole, a scale of 1 to 10, you're at 23 now at this point. After a while, people stop listening because it's just too hysterical. We saw the same thing with voting rights, that democracy is at stake unless we federalize voting in this country. And then everybody's like, no, that's a state issue, and then it should stay that way. And then, of course, that didn't pass thanks to the Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema. Same thing with what else was there as far as I'm going? Oh, race, right? Racism. I did one story I remember for The Hill where CNN and MSNBC in the span of 1 week said the term race or racism, okay? Those two words, 4,100 times. You literally have to say it it's every fourth sentence for that to work out mathematically.
Yeah.
But that's what they did. So when you call somebody a racist, that used to be a very big deal. Now it's like, all right, whatever. I guess everybody's a racist. If you're white, you're on Fox. I'm automatically a racist, even though my last name is Concha and my relatives came by way of Cuba and Puerto Rico. Yeah, I'm a racist. Fine. Yeah, go ahead. Lump me in. But no one pays attention to it anymore. So that's what they're going to do here. They're overplaying their hand because they know that they think this is one issue that's going to save them in the midterms. And it's not, because in the end, inflation's still going to be there in November. Crime's still going to be there in November. Education, in terms of teachers' unions being favored by Democrats instead of parents, that's still going to be there. The border's still going to be a mess, and Ukraine's still going to be at war. And that will dwarf the abortion issue, because the abortion issue basically is a wash, Annie.
Yeah, we're speaking with Joe Concha right now, columnist at The Hill, Fox News contributor, at Joe Concha TV on Twitter. I think about the rules, the rubric that the left has successfully laid out pretty much since Obama was campaigning and then took office and started controlling our language and started really scaring people into not engaging in conversations where maybe my perspective is not welcome. And I know that I'm going to be called names. Like you're saying, racist is so common now. I mean, real racism does exist, and they do a real disservice to calling out the real racist a-holes that exist in our world because we use that word so much. Is it
Sure.
Is it just this moment in time because inflation is so bad that their rules and regulations on how we treat each other and speak to one another, that's not as effective at the ballot box? Will we get back to that? Or do you think that, I think Americans have just had enough?
I think that we're split to the point where I can't see us moving forward. In other words, if another 9/11 happened right now, I try to think of the reaction. When it happened at the time, the country came together, and George W. Bush had something like a 92% approval rating, right? Because rally around the flag, and, we're all Americans, forget about being Republican, Democrat, blue, red, whatever. Now, I think if that happened, it would be probably, let's say it happened under a Republican administration, then it would be that president is in the back pocket of somebody and allowed this to happen. Or if it happens under a Democratic president, same thing. In other words, we're the blame culture now. We don't look at things logically and with common sense and say, maybe this thing just happened because it happened, not because anybody's technically at fault. So I just never can see us going back to this now, because the left has gone so far left. I mean, did you see that Elon Musk, that cartoon that he sent out? He was retweeting it. I mean, that says it all. It's like he's a liberal, right? He's left of center. He's not way left of center. He's slightly left of center. And then the liberal who's a stick figure is, maybe 2 feet away from him. And then in 2012, the stick figure is running hard in the other direction. He stays in the same place. The conservative stays in the same place. And then by 2021 or 2022, the stick figure that's the liberal is calling the other two stick figures bigots and is like basically off the page. And then the conservatives just going LOL. That's what they become, like an angry old party. And they're old, right? I mean, the president's going to be 80 next year in a couple of months, and Nancy Pelosi's 82, and I could go down the list of people in Congress and Senate who are also in their 80s. Dianne Feinstein. I mean, you see reports about her, and I'm not joking about this because we all have relatives like this. Unfortunately, she's basically going through dementia right now. She can't remember basic things. That's what Democratic senators are saying. So the party is supposed to be woke and young and hip is actually old and white and out of touch and about to be out of power. And that's why I think Republicans are lined up very, very nicely for 2022 and then 2024, regardless of who the nominee is.
Last question before we let you go. Speaking with Joe Concha right now, I came across this clip because you exposed it to me on your Twitter account, because I don't really watch Seth Meyers and I definitely don't watch Amy Schumer. But the two of them were having a conversation on Seth Meyers' show about Disney films and how problematic The Little Mermaid, Jungle Book, and Peter Pan are. And, just to what you're saying right now, I almost feel like maybe these old Disney movies that weren't really meant to persuade or indoctrinate people in a specific way are maybe going to come back in vogue where we can watch it, understand the context, the history that is in there, and maybe some of the things that reflect things that we don't do anymore in this country, but all be grown-ups about it and show our kids these films and not expect to be raising little racist hate mongers.
Can I ask you a question to answer your question?
Yes.
When was Amy Schumer ever funny? I find her repugnant. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that because her uncle is Chuck Schumer. No, I'm telling
you,
I just don't get
of relevance. How is
right?
Amy relevant to this conversation? No, I understand.
She's like Lena Dunham 2.0. Like, why are these people remotely seen as successful? And here's what she said last night to Seth Meyers, who is insufferable. Like, it's like, just
he's
go
very
on
angry
CNN and take the 9 o'clock. He is, isn't he?
He's very angry.
That's Letterman's old spot. I mean, come on, man. But Letterman, when Letterman was sane, here's what you said. It's tough, these movies. I love Monsters, Inc. movies, but there's no women. It's like everybody's got to do better. It's Monsters, Inc. All right?
There's no humans. Well, just one. I guess it was a female, too. Come on. Yeah, you're exactly right. You're exactly right.
She hosted the Oscars, right? And what was it? 3 women. Where are the men? If you want equality, right? Shouldn't it be 2 and 2? Put 4 out there. I can't watch late night. It's so insufferable. It's why Greg Gutfeld is doing as well as he is, because he's filling a huge void that people are hungering for, which is humor. Just give me humor.
Yes.
That's all I want.
100%. I watch Gutfeld every chance I get. Joe Concha, we watch you on Fox News every chance we get as well. Read you on the Hill, and we're always grateful when you give us some of your time. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
In July 2020, Black Lives Matter rioters did this to Chicago police in Grant Park.
Police said the PVC pipe used to hold the Black Lives Matter banners had been sharpened and were taken out and used to jab at officers.
In March 2021, Richard Irvin wrote, "I support Black Lives Matter strongly and passionately." In August 2020, Black Lives Matter Chicago organizer Ariel Atkins said,
"I don't care if somebody decides to loot a Gucci or a Nike."
In March 2021, Richard Irvin wrote, "I support Black Lives Matter strongly and passionately." For years, Black Lives Matter promoted looting our cities and deconstructing the nuclear family. Yet Richard Irvin bragged, "I support Black Lives Matter strongly and passionately." And Richard Irvin wants to be your Republican candidate for governor, only in Illinois. Tell Richard Irvin you won't support a Republican who supports Black Lives Matter. Vote no on Richard Irvin. Paid for by people who play by the rules PAC.
This was a paid political announcement.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Mark Cox Morning Show.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Up to the minute traffic reports, so you don't have to keep looking at your phone. Dependable traffic on 97.1 FM Talk. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. You're listening to the Annie Frey Show.
I think that ultimately this should lead to prosecution if it's borne out that this was done to disrupt the court, which it appears to have been. And it could be the Justice Department. It could be a special counsel. But at the end of the day, I think whoever did this belongs in jail.
So there you have Bill Burr talking about the leaker. Whoever actually did participate in the leaking of that document deserves to be in jail. And the main reason I played that clip is because when I read it on the clip sheet first, Brad, I thought it said Bill Burr, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" I'm here for this.
I thought for sure you said Bill Burr.
Bill Barr, the former attorney general. So if you are wondering why we sound the way we do, that's Jake in the studio who's keeping us live and up on the air. We are broadcasting live from the St. Clair County GOP golf tournament at Tamarack Golf Course. And I kid you not, to my left, none other than Balls just teed off.
Yeah, he just teed off.
Yes. How did he do? Was he embarrassed?
He hit something in the water. Now, to be fair, it's been rainy, and that water could actually just be a puddle on the fairway.
The water could be in the center of the fairway, that's for sure.
As a matter of fact, I think that it is, because that's exactly where they're standing looking for it now.
All right, so there are celebrities on this golf course right now. We just happened to see a frequent commenter. I don't know if he's watching the show right now or if he knows.
He commented earlier on it.
Yeah.
Said he was waving to me.
Yep. So we, like I said, Tamarack Golf Course in Shiloh, Illinois, and it's rained for 40 days and 40 nights. And it stopped raining for a moment. Hey, Balls! Hey! Stay out of the lakes! I don't know what he's yelling.
He said he's making me nervous. You're making him nervous.
You got to play better under pressure. It's gonna screw them for the rest of those golf games. So they teed off here at 10:30. They had a delayed start. It was, I guess, they're supposed to tee off at 9.
9. Yeah, 9 was the original tee time.
So we do have a tee box right directly in front of us. Some gentleman is teeing off right now with a yellow golf ball on a red tee. He's got a red driver and a white hat, and he is
hard hitting news today.
Go through the wind up. Come on, dude. I can't do this forever.
TikTok.
Here's the wind up and the pitch. And out of here. That's not bad. That's better than I'd hit it, probably.
Yeah, me too.
I promise I won't do that again unless I run out of material, which is possible. Gosh, we got a lot of time to fill here.
We do.
We do.
We got a lot of time. Are you looking at me like you need material from me?
No, I just looked at the clock, which normally there's a big red clock in front of me, and it is 12:43.
Oh, yeah.
We have like 14 minutes to fill, which is fantastic. Here's a question we haven't discussed yet. Brad, I'm curious what you think about it. As far as the leak goes, I was talking about this with somebody off the air, and they were questioning whether or not Politico should have published this leak. And I don't really hear anybody discussing the journalistic ethics involved in Politico's responsibility of publishing the ruling, or the opinion, I should say, from Justice Alito. Do you think that Politico should have?
I don't know. I see, and I'm coming from a non-journalistic background, but to me, it seems like if it's something that you shouldn't have, I feel like maybe you shouldn't publish it. And that's just my thoughts on that.
If you don't publish it,
well, somebody else is going to do it.
Absolutely, somebody else is going to publish it.
Absolutely. But to me, you're saying this is an ethical question. What are your morals and standards? And if you don't have any standards, then what good is it?
Yeah, my initial thought, and I would love to hear what y'all think about this. And we are broadcasting live, of course, here on 97.1 FM Talk, live from the Tamarack Golf Course, the St. Clair County GOP Golf Tournament. But we are still streaming the show. We have the whole thing rigged up here. Engineer Brian is doing everything he needs to do to make sure that we are live and on the air and sounding good, I hope. And if you want to join us, we could use your comments today on the live stream. Ryan Wiggins had to take the day off last minute, so we are out here broadcasting, and with a combined. What is your radio? How long have you been in radio professionally?
Professionally, since October.
6 months. So we're going on 7 months.
7 months.
14 months of broadcasting excellence here. And I'm really proud of us. We're doing great. So get on the live chat and comment. Hannah's watching that. And I'd love to know what you think about the stuff that we're talking about throughout the course of the day.
We need some questions for Ask Me Anything at 2:05.
You're going to be doing, we will be doing Ask Me Anything at 2:05 for sure.
I'm still monitoring comments today, so.
Well, let's get to the poll question, because I am curious about this too. And I don't know if Jake wants to weigh in on this or not, because Jake is a media personality himself. Jake, how long have you been professionally in radio? Probably.
I started in promotions, handing out T-shirts and stickers and stuff. I think in 2018, I believe, and I started on air in 2019. So a couple of years, more than Brad and Hannah put together.
I know,
which is why I get to be inside with the coffee, not in the rain.
I have coffee. I forgot I had it. It was sitting over there, and it's cold now, but I'm still drinking.
Now iced coffee.
Yeah. Here's the poll question for today, and you can go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and vote in the live chat box on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Is it cool to be conservative? And I'm curious what you guys think about this. Brad, I'll ask you first. Your thoughts.
I get to go first.
Yes.
Well,
is it cool to be conservative?
I'm conservative, and I'm cool.
So, I need you to answer. I need you to draw that out a little bit.
So yes, it's absolutely cool to be a conservative.
Do you think society thinks
not
it's cool
no, not at this point. I don't think that I think we're turning the corner, but I don't think that we're there yet. There was a thing in the 80s with Reagan conservatives where it was cool and it was young, and
people are like, before now, like even when Trump was in office, but like recently, Reagan Bush 84 t-shirts is a trendy t-shirt.
It still is.
Have you ever seen those?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, what was it? Alex P. Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
He was a Reagan.
Family Ties.
Yep, he was a Reagan conservative. That's Michael J. Fox's character. And
can you imagine there being a TV show now about a Trump conservative?
Where the kid
is a Trump conservative, and the parents. That would be so successful.
That would be a blast to watch.
Wouldn't it? Why are people putting this together? Because if you look at Last Man Standing with Tim Allen, did you watch that?
I've seen it. Yeah.
Have you seen?
No,
ever seen
I've
it?
not.
Oh my gosh! If folks who have not seen Last Man Standing, it's syndicated on like 7 different channels. So you have no excuse to not be able to see it. But he's Mike Baxter, and he's married to a geologist, and has 3 daughters, which is funny because in Home Improvement, of course, he had 3 sons. But it's just a story about him owning a business, which is an outdoor man, which is the same as like Bass Pro or something like that. And he's conservative, and he's kind of taking the world as it comes, the world that we live in right now, and being frustrated by the same things that we're being frustrated about, and just having the opportunity to speak on it and just be a publicly out conservative minded person.
Right.
If you did Family Ties again, and you had, I mean, how easy would it be to have a family where the parents are like super, super woke liberals?
Oh,
and the son is a buttoned up Donald Trump conservative.
So
I want
easy.
to. I want to watch that right now.
I would
tune
totally
into that.
watch that.
Not-
That sounds
maybe not
great.
right now, but
If it was written well, it would be probably the most successful thing on TV.
Well, I think so. And maybe that's why it doesn't get play. You know, because if people see that, then you see people Hannah's age going, well, maybe it isn't so bad. These guys aren't that crazy. They aren't that weird. And they spent a long time painting Republicans and conservatives as the crazies. What did Biden call us? The most extreme political organization
That
in
was
the history.
MAGA.
Extremist. MAGA is the most extreme political organization in American history.
I have a thought over the YouTube poll.
Tell me.
So the question is it cool to be conservative? I personally think it's cool. But other people, especially in my generation, do not. I feel like I'm really going against the grain here, being a conservative who's 20, being very public about it. Other people think I'm crazy and rude and inconsiderate.
Were you public about it before you were on our show?
No.
Did we out you?
No, I mean, I outed myself, and that's fine. I feel like I was always scared because I felt like I wasn't informed enough. But then I took it into my own hands to inform myself, and no, I'm not swayed just because I work on this show. I do my own research and I form my own opinion. I always have, and I'm a conservative, and I think it's cool. And I think it's cool that I come out, and I'm willing, to have backlash from others. And if someone doesn't agree with me, I'm more than welcome to, have a open and honest discussion with them like an adult. So I think it's cool that I'm conservative.
Speak on it, Hannah. Tell them. See, I think that's kind of the point I'm getting at. If you expose people to what conservatives actually are, they're going to look at it and go, well, I'm going to educate myself on this, and then they're going to have a better idea, and it's not just going to be the blur that everybody has.
That's the thing. People don't want to educate themselves. They want to just make an opinion in their head, believe that it's true, not find facts, and go from there.
Yeah, I think that
also mainstream media just
they're winning, but they're not in a position necessarily to keep winning the way that they have so easily won in the past. And I think too that when it comes to being around other young people like you are, Hannah, I would imagine, I don't know if it's happened to you yet, but I would imagine that there will be times where people will whisper to you that they kind of agree with you.
Oh yeah, it's super hush hush. I'm like, you can be open about this. You can be open about this.
I love to hear that is happening to you already. Because I mean, you do, over the course of time, as you age, your priorities change, your experiences change. And when you and I have talked, Hannah, off the air, just about, I wanted to make sure that I didn't disrespect you at all and making you feel uncomfortable talking about anything, because it is not a requirement to be like a specific kind of conservative or any type of lean to work at 97.1 or to work on this show. So I wanted to make sure that I knew where you were, to know how you were comfortable. And one thing that you said to me was that, there are things that you just don't feel like you really know or have experience. And I said, that's totally fine. Like, say so, because the people who are listening, I want every 20-year-old person out there that wants to listen for sure. But of course, we have older people who are listening, who are our age and who are my parents' age and people who are my grandparents' age. And they want to hear people like you that don't really, nobody expects a 20-year-old to know everything. Right. And I'm
learn with me.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
38 years old now, and I'm learning things every single day. And part of growing up is being like, wow, there's a lot that I don't know. Tell me more, and listening.
Yeah, I agree. And, I'm 38 as well. And you just learn new things every day, and you just keep looking. And to me, I don't know, that's the fun of it, right? Finding out something that you didn't know, and maybe that shapes your perspective. Have you ever had your thoughts on a particular topic change drastically by just looking into whatever the information was behind it? And, to me, that is the fun of learning and growing and being a person.
Also, politically, the younger you are, the less you're personally confronted with the things that are affected by politics.
That's true.
So you get older, and then all of a sudden you get your first paycheck, and you're like, wait. What's this line, and where is all this money going, and why is it not my paycheck? So you start to learn a little bit more about that. And then, we've talked so much this week about Roe v. Wade, and you pointed to me, you're like, you said you were in your sad phase, and you said, Annie, you're in your angry phase.
Yeah.
But coming to grips with these things that are taking place in that region of our discussions when it comes to abortion, what kind of abortion exists and is welcomed in, state by state, the way people treat that issue. If you don't know, you don't know.
Right. And
then when you find out, it makes you sad.
Sick to my stomach. And it's scary.
I'm just glad that you were exposed to it and being willing to expose to it, because a lot of people, you don't have to be young to be stubborn and not expose yourself to it.
Well, yeah, there's the attitude of like, I'm just going to cover my ears, stick my fingers in my ears, cover my eyes, walk away, blah 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 blah. I'm not listening. And that's kind of a lot of the, like, whenever I try to have a discussion with somebody, they'll approach with this preconceived notion of what a conservative is, and then they'll walk away from the conversation because they already know what a conservative is, and they're not even going to listen to you. And that to me is the frustrating thing.
Man, it is 55 degrees outside right now. Is that what your computer's still lying?
54.
54. It's getting colder. And we are broadcasting live from the Tamarack Golf Course in Shiloh, Illinois, here to celebrate the golf tournament for the St. Clair County GOP. They put this awesome event together, and it's full of individuals. We've had a whole bunch of candidates out here that we talked to at the beginning of the online broadcast. If you missed that, make sure that you subscribe to the Annie Frey YouTube channel because from 11 a.m. till about 11:45, I think we interviewed, was it 9? Was it 7? I don't remember how many it was.
7.
You just kept shoveling in my way, and we kept talking to people who are looking to make this a better state and a better district. And I'm here to tell you folks that the Republican Party efforts on the east side of the river are alive and well and waiting for you to join them. So we got about a minute left here, Jake. Is that right?
That's correct.
Perfect.
How are you going to spend that time?
I'm going to pretty soon. I'm gonna, if I start to, I'm going to let you people here in the noon hour in on a little secret. If I ask Jake about Star Wars, that means SOS. That's what that means. But I'm good. We're good. We're broadcasting live here. Brian was about to hold down the tent that we're under. It started to move off the ground, and he looked at me like, ugh.
Yeah, if you're watching the stream, when the wind hits, you can actually see the camera shaking.
There's movement, folks. There's movement. We got Kevin Wheeler coming up here on the Annie Frey Show. We're going to talk a little Blues hockey because we have a home playoff game taking place in St. Louis, and the Blues are going to win tonight. But we're going to talk to him about how they're going to accomplish that. Plus, the St. Louis Cardinals in action as well in San Francisco. Got a win last night, and we're going to talk to him about what's in store for the rest of the series. Make sure you go to the Annie Frey YouTube and vote on our poll question. Is it cool to be conservative? Yes or no? Back with Kevin Wheeler in a minute.
Looking to sell your house without all the hassle and pricey repair costs? Great, because Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis loves buying fix-up homes in any condition, as is, no fees and no commissions. Call 314-782-8000, and Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis will give you a cash offer right now. No strings attached. We buy inherited houses, divorce houses, trashed houses, even those my tenant won't pay rent houses. Call Chris at 314-782-8000 and find out how easy it is to work with us. That's 314-782-8000. Do you think your home will be difficult to sell? Easy. Our team will provide you with personal guidance through our short and simple process to turn your house into a pile of gold. Just call Chris at 314-782-8000. 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And let Chris worry about everything.
This is a great time of the year to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with my friends at Window World. Mark Cox here to tell you more about my experience with Window World. They replaced a couple of windows at my house. They were just panes of glass. We wanted to be able to get some airflow into the master bathroom. They came out, they gave us a free estimate, and then had the windows at seams installed in no time. Very professional, lifetime warranty I get, and you get an extra double strength glass on their replacement windows that's not common. So you're getting a great price, simply the best for less. They do front entry doors, rear entry doors if you're looking to replace that back door or sliding glass door in your home. They've got a great selection at Window World. They're also right now offering 18 months, same as cash financing, of course, with approved credit. The preferred window of the St. Louis Blues, 314-993-1800, windowworld.com. Annie Frey and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig of the Retirement Advisory Group, for the next Protecting Your Retirement educational event, Tuesday, May 24th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. There's limited seating, so go online at retirementkey.com. Here's Thomas with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and concerned how all the market volatility is hurting your retirement accounts? Did you know there are financial tools that allow you to participate in the market growth and still protect you from any losses? Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can now roll over your 401k tax-free to protect your nest egg from market losses and still generate more income than most investment options? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you don't want to miss this event.
Protect your retirement nest egg and join the official financial advisor of my show, Thomas Helbig, Tuesday, May 24th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Call 314-993-9494 or online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Chilly times on this Friday afternoon. The high 65 degrees, cloudy and rather windy. Some gusty winds, any rain and non-severe thunderstorms coming to an end, but it's a slow process. Tonight, slow clearance, stays windy, 48. Saturday, partly to mostly sunny skies, but a little cool, 60s to near 70. And Sunday, partly sunny and 79. This is 97.1 FM Talk, Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Employers have now added at least 400,000 jobs per month for 12 straight months. But that streak could be tested as the Federal Reserve this week raised its key interest rate by 0.5 percentage point, the biggest jump in more than 20 years, in a move that will make it more expensive for businesses to borrow and hire. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Republicans say the president's policies stifle economic growth and fuel inflation. The CDC just holding a briefing on cases of severe hepatitis found in children around the world recently. In the U.S., more than 100 cases and 5 deaths under investigation in 25 states and territories. And more than half have evidence of an adenovirus infection, a common virus that can cause a variety of infections, including the common cold. The specific cause of the hepatitis remains under investigation, though. Federal health officials say it's not caused by the COVID-19 vaccine. A suspected gas explosion at a hotel in Cuba's capital, now blamed for at least 8 deaths.
The mayor of Old Havana now says a crack in a liquefied gas line was discovered by a cook in the hotel, and then came the explosion. One source tells Fox News the hotel had been undergoing renovations during the pandemic as no travelers were admitted to the island. The victims are likely employees or other workers.
Fox's Evan Brown, the Hotel Saratoga, had been planning to reopen next week. America is listening to Fox News.
I tend to second-guess dinners with friends because they're often interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall. If you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit Creon.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREON.com.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Chilly times on this Friday afternoon. The high 65 degrees, cloudy and rather windy. Some gusty winds, any rain and non-severe thunderstorms coming to an end, but it's a slow process. Tonight, slow clearance, stays windy, 48. Saturday, partly to mostly sunny skies, but a little cool, 60s to near 70. And Sunday, partly sunny and 79. This is 97.1 FM Talk, Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
When you're in the car, 97.1 is here to help you make time. With dependable traffic every weekday with Sue Thomas.
Road work will continue 270 at Lindbergh, and they'll have a lane down in each direction.
Sue Thomas and dependable traffic.
We did have a report of a possible vehicle fire.
Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, your solution to in-home traffic.
Both look great from out west into downtown.
Every weekday on 97.1 FM Talk.
There are a lot of smart business people out there making smart decisions by getting Rhino Shield. The latest one, the Central Illinois Care Services, they have decided to go with Rhino Shield on the outside of their building so they won't have to worry about maintenance from now on. The list is long. Joe's Tire out in Sullivan, Stonehill Wineries in Herman. They've all got Rhino Shield on their buildings. You can have it on your business or your house. Just call 877-25-RHINO. Let Darren come out and give you a free estimate as to what it would cost to get this great product on your home. 25-year transferable warranty, 100% waterproof, 8 to 10 times thicker than paint. And as a satisfied customer, 15 years in, I can tell you it looks as good as the day they put it on. You're going to love Rhino Shield. Call them right now. Tell them you heard about it on the Mark Cox Morning Show. Again, 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Dell Technologies wants to celebrate all your hard work with these Small Business Month specials. Get great value offers on powerful laptops, desktops, and servers with Windows 11 Pro starting at $499, plus top monitors and docks, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. It's the perfect time to upgrade so you and your team can stay secure from anywhere. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL to refresh your business tech with these Small Business Month specials. Dell recommends Windows 11 Pro for business.
Tim's taxes were an unbelievably tangled mess. The IRS just wouldn't work with me. Then Optima got involved, and I mean, they really got involved.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
It's like having two lives, the one before Optima Tax and the one after.
Do what Tim did. Call Optima now for a free consultation. Call 800-953-1788. 800-953-1788.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
Camping season is here, and Apache Village RV Center's open house May 6th and 7th is the perfect time to shop RVs from Jayco, Keystone, and Fleetwood. Family owned and operated for over 40 years. Apache Village Open House will offer huge discounts to fit every budget, plus special giveaways, Barbecue Friday, and the local famous Pueblo Nuevo catering on Saturday. The Apache Village Open House, May 6th and 7th, located in Hazelwood.
Tony LaRussa here. Has your loss of energy and weight gain thrown you a curveball in your relationship? If so, go see my friends over at Victory Men's Health. Discreet first-class professionals will help you hit those curves out of the park. VictoryMen'sHealth.com. That's VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
You can ask your smart speaker to play 97.1 FM Talk and stay connected to everything happening in the world, the country, and the community. It's all through the new Odyssey app. 97.1 FM Talk. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock. River views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. The Loading Dock on the river in Grafton, Illinois.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right.
Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome into the Annie Frey.
A lot of pressure. You got to rise above it. You got to harness in the good energy, block out the bad. Harness, energy, block, bad. Feel the flow, happy. Feel it. It's circular. It's like a carousel. You pay the quarter, you get on the horse. It goes up and down and around. Circular, circle, with the music, the flow. All good things.
Yeah, all right. Well, great. Thanks a lot. Nice to meet you, man. Psycho.
Yeah, Jake was just nailing it and talking about how impressive he's been, and he is doing a great job. We are broadcasting live from the Tamarack Golf Course in Shiloh, Illinois, at the St. Clair County GOP Golf Tournament. Hannah and Brad are out here with me at this tournament. Brian is our engineer, and he's doing a great job. And we have with us, as we normally do on Fridays, Kevin Wheeler with us. Let's get to Kevin right now.
Hey, Annie! Let's talk a little business of baseball here.
This is a simple game. You throw the ball, you hit the ball, you catch the ball.
There's no crying in baseball.
Cardinals, Blues, and more with sports reporter Kevin Wheeler.
Kevin, welcome back. Happy Friday. Good to have you here.
Thank you much. Hope it's going well out there.
It's a little chilly. I got to ask you before we get to the business of St. Louis sports. Are you a golfer? Do you enjoy the links?
I do not like the golf.
Is it that golf doesn't like you, or do you just not golf?
Oh, it's a little bit of both. I mean, I used to play in college a reasonable amount. Like teammates and I would go out and down in South Florida, we'd go after practice and play 9 before it got dark or whatever. But for the most part, just not enough action for me. My brain wants more.
I understand. Completely understand that. Well, we've got a little bit of a wet one out here, but a full course of people, and grateful to be out here at Tamarack Golf Course. I want to talk to you a little bit before we normally start with Cardinals baseball. We got a Blues playoff game in St. Louis, which means it's a good day. We dominated the first game, kind of got dominated the second game. Where do you feel the Blues stand with this first home game of this series against the Minnesota Wild?
Well, if they can keep their defensemen on the ice instead of in the locker room with injuries, they'd probably be okay. And I think what we learned from Game 2 is it's really hard to win in the playoffs with half of your top 6 defensemen on the sideline. Marco Scandella didn't play. He's been dealing with an injury. Obviously, Nick Leddy didn't play. He got hurt in Game 1. And then Robert Bortuzzo took a shot to the face the other night and came out near the end of the first period and didn't return. So, that's 3 of your top 6. And if it holds like that, well, then you're going to be dressing as part of your top 6, your number 7, 8, and 9 defensemen. So I'd say that's a pretty big deal. And it was to me, a very noticeable part of game 2. It wasn't the only thing that went wrong. I mean, Minnesota came out in Game 2 with some desperation because, look, you're facing being down 0-2 heading out on the road. So some of what we saw from Minnesota, that little extra was expected, and you want to be able to counter that, but it's not an easy thing to do without 3 of your top 6 defensemen.
So is it looking like they're going to be out for some time then?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't hear anything yet from what they said today after the morning skate because I'm on the road traveling, but I know that, everything was they were saying anyway, that Leddy and Scandella were game time decisions the other night and they didn't go. And even if they go, they're probably not 100%, but it's going to be, to me, it's the story of the game is if they play, number one, and if they do, how much ice time can they log? How much are they playing at their previous level? And if they're not out there, I mean, you got to make up for it somehow, right? I mean, we can't just say, well, that's a loss. So,
Yeah.
I would say you're going to have to see more from the forward group playing a tighter game in the defensive zone. And obviously, one way to play great defense in this sport is to possess the puck in the offensive zone.
Yeah, for sure. So, a lot of goals scored, a two-time hat trick, it seemed like, because they had to pull that one goal back in the second game. Talk to me a little bit about our goalie situation. It's been kind of a strange scenario throughout the course of the season, and Husso has done so well. What's the goalie setup here for the home part of this tournament or this series?
And I didn't see anything in game 2 that really concerned me about Billy Husso. He was awesome in game 1. But, look, this is his first time as the guy going into a playoff series. So it is one of the unknowns. I mean, it's, how he's going to respond to the game 2 outcome, and how well they're going to play around him is certainly more important than that. I mean, I've been impressed with Husso all year with his ability to just kind of stay calm and continue to play through whatever adversity pops up. And now it's about seeing whether or not you can do that in an intense 7-game series. And I think he's going to be okay. I do find it to be an interesting thing that, your alternative happens to be a guy that won a Stanley Cup for you. And hasn't played at that level for a couple years, but it's kind of an interesting dynamic. But I would assume that Husso should be okay as long as the team around him is able to support him.
These things go both ways. What about the Minnesota Wild? Are they healthy and coming to St. Louis? Obviously with the momentum of a big win in game 2, but do they have any concerns on their end of the ice that might hinder their ability to play?
Not really. I mean, they're one of their better players. Foligno got hurt in the last game of the regular season, but he's been out there, and whether he's 100% or not, I don't know. But yeah, I think they're probably similar to where they were going into game 2, and their goalie situation is interesting in some ways because Cam Talbot is the backup. He's been pretty good. Well, actually, I don't know. They've been sharing it, but they brought in Marc-Andre Fleury, who's been through this before with Vegas and their big run, who obviously has won the Cup with Pittsburgh. And, he's a guy that, the Blues have had success against Talbot, and they've had a lot of success against the Wild over the last couple of regular seasons. But Fleury kind of, tosses a wild card into that mix.
All right. Well, the Blues play tonight at 8:30, and we'll be watching that on a Friday evening. At 9:15, the St. Louis Cardinals take the field. They're 15-10 right now. They're not doing too bad, but boy, if you're watching the game, you're not seeing very many 3-2 victories by the St. Louis Cardinals. We either smacking them or we're getting smacked ourselves. What do you make of that?
Good question. The offense has been really, really hit or miss, right? I mean, sorry, that was a bad pun. I didn't mean to do that. But
literally hit or miss.
Yeah, it kind of has. I mean, the offense has been there sometimes and not been there other times. Now, one thing that's been true is pretty regularly they've been destroying left-handed pitching. They've had no problem with lefties. They're putting up big numbers against lefties. They have struggled much more against righties. Now, that was not the case last night, and most of the guys that pitched, San Francisco used 9 pitchers yesterday in a bullpen game, and most of them were right-handed, and the Cardinals handled them just fine. And that's going to have to be the adjustment, I think, is that they're just going to have the lineup produce more against right-handed pitching, considering you see right-handed pitching far more than you see left-handed pitching. And really it comes down to, Annie, a few guys. Tyler O'Neill is starting to get going, which is a great sign. He got off to a little bit of a slow start, but these last few games, he's starting to hit doubles and triples and home runs. So, getting him going, getting Dylan Carlson going are going to be a really big deal. And also, figuring something out against right-handed pitching at the DH spot, because as good as Albert has looked against lefties, he's been as advertised there. He's been hammering the lefties. He's 2 for 21 against right-handed pitching this year. So that's not really a viable alternative at this point on a day-to-day basis against right-handers. And Corey Dickerson got off to a slow start, in part because I just don't think he's gotten the kind of run that you need to kind of find yourself when you get off to a slump. But we've got the kid, Juan Yepes, who got called up when Edmundo Sosa went on the COVID list.
He's not doing too bad.
He seems he's. So I'm going to say there's a pretty good chance you'll see him tonight, and they're going to let that hot hand ride. But then, basically, Andy, they just need 2 or 3 more guys to get going, because at some point here, Nolan Arenado is going to settle down a little bit. I mean, he's awesome, but there's nobody in the major leagues that does over 6 months what he's done in the first 4 or 5 weeks this season. And, ideally, when he starts to calm down, other guys are going to be ramping up, and that's kind of the play. But with all of that said, you're 15-10, which is a 97-win pace. And, the story behind that has been the pitching. The bullpen, for the most part, has been phenomenal. The rotation has been much better than it was last year, even without Jack Flaherty in there. So those are the 2 kind of cornerstones, along with defense. And, they've been able to win at a pretty good pace, even with erratic offense.
We're speaking with Kevin Wheeler, sports reporter, host of the KMOX sports reporter, host of Sports Open Line over there on KMOX. Follow him on Twitter at Kevin Wheeler94. Let's talk about Paul DeJong and the just very, very quiet offense that he just hasn't been able to get his footing there. How long does he get this opportunity to try to put something together before the St. Louis Cardinals go, we got to go a different direction?
Well, I can't imagine it's much longer. John Mozeliak talked about it in the offseason and in the spring about the shortstop position essentially being a competition, that DeJong would get a shot to keep the job, to win it and keep it. But, Edmundo Sosa did a really nice job last year when he got to play under similar circumstances when DeJong wasn't going well at all. And, they went on that 17-game winning streak with a large part of that being held down by Edmundo Sosa at shortstop. But he's on the COVID list right now, so he's not an option at the moment. But I would say that when Sosa gets back, he probably is going to get some run. Oliver Marmol has been he's been pretty outspoken about performance being a big deal. Like, you've got to get the job done if you're going to play. And they haven't really been super aggressive in that regard with DeJong. I mean, he's still getting to play. Part of it is that they really like his defense. They value defense more than most teams do. So that's given him some leeway, right? He's a quality defender. But again, at some point, you have to hit something. And, you look at his numbers right now, he's hitting $123, I think, after last night. And, strikes out a lot. He is not hitting off-speed pitches at all. I mean, curveballs, sliders, changeups, anything that's not a fastball, he's not hitting at all. And, even yesterday, he's swinging through fastballs, basically right down the middle of the plate in 3-1 count. And, at some point, it's going to have to change. And I think that's going to be really soon because, the more they talk about performance being a primary factor in who stays on the roster and who plays, the more they're going to have to back that up, right? I mean, you can't say that all the time and then leave a shortstop out there that's hitting, barely above 100 at this point in the year.
Kevin Wheeler with us right now, KMOX sports reporter. You mentioned Ollie Marmol's name, and, I noticed last night specifically, I think that I heard Danny Mac talking about how he's done this a few times, but Ollie Marmol coming out to talk to pitchers and not pulling them out of the game. He's the youngest guy who's doing that job in the majors, and just something that's a little unusual. What's your assessment so far on Ollie's job that he's done at this point, and just some unusual things that maybe are just not typical, I guess, ways of managing that we've seen from Marmol so far?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about going out to the mound and not removing the pitcher is not super unusual. I mean, it's not something that happens all the time, but a lot of times what's going to happen in that scenario when the manager goes out to talk to a veteran pitcher like Miles Michaelis is he's probably going to just ask him the question, can you get this guy? Are you good? Do you have enough in the tank? And if the answer is a convincing yes, well, then you leave him in there. And if the answer leaves you doubting, well, then you pull the trigger and you go to the next guy. And I mean, I've seen Tony La Russa do it. Again, it's not normal. It's not something that happens every day, but it's also not a super rare thing either. Like, sometimes you just want to hear what that guy's going to say when you go out there. And, that's why the manager would go out rather than the pitching coach, because the manager has in his mind what he wants to hear. And if he hears the right thing or it's the right vibe from the player, like the player's confidence level is high, as opposed to, expressing some doubt or some concern, well, that allows the manager to make the decision there. And, last night it didn't get him out of the inning, but they went to Palante and he got it out. And I think, it's still really early. It's hard to really have a great feel for a manager after 25 games. But Marmol has lived up to a bunch of the things that he said. I mean, they've been pretty aggressive with their bullpen. They've used a lot of different guys in different situations. And, you look at the success the bullpen's had, really outside of one bad game for Giovanni Gallegos, the bullpen's been amazing. I mean, Helsley's been great. Whitgren, the new guy, has been really good. Palante's been outstanding. So, there have been a few blow-ups, but for the most part, he's gotten a lot out of that. So it's too early to give him a grade, but I think he's doing all right.
Awesome. Well, Kevin Wheeler, thank you for joining us today, and lots of sports happening this weekend. It'll be an exciting sports weekend for St. Louis fans, and we look forward to talking again next week.
All right, keep dodging those raindrops out there.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what we're doing. All right, we'll talk to you soon, Kevin. Thank you so much. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I think that Hannah, do you have a Signs of the Apocalypse all ready for us?
I do have a Signs of the Apocalypse ready.
That's fantastic. We just saw one Craig Lombardi teeing off. I don't know which hole that is. We're facing hole number 10. So if anybody is listening to us on the golf course right now, we are going to just stare you down when you're on the tee box and watch how well you hit it. Out at Tamarack Golf Course for the St. Clair County GOP Golf Tournament out here. Make sure you connect with them, St. Clair County Republicans.com, to learn a little bit more about their organization doing great things over here in the Metro East. Signs of the Apocalypse on the Annie Frey Show with Hannah in just a minute. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. Decision 2022 is happening. Are you ready to decide? The primary candidates are here because they want to talk to you. Decision 2022, right here, right now, on 97.1 FM Talk.
The Vitae Foundation, vitaefoundation.org. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the place that you want to connect. This is the place that you want to put that passion that you have right now with all of the news that has been taking place this week with the leak from Alito's ruling in the Supreme Court. If you have that in your heart and in your head that you need to be a part of the solution to help women who may be abortion determined actually choose life, you can be a part of that solution, and you can do so by going to vitaefoundation.org. I want to remind you that on Tuesday, May 17th, at the Hilton St. Louis Frontenac, you can get your tickets to reserve a table to see Rachel Campos Duffy come speak. She's the keynote speaker at this pro-life event with Vitae Foundation, and I'm going to be there as the MC. Looking forward to meeting you there as well. Please consider supporting the Vitae Foundation. It's a great opportunity, a great organization where you can put, $10 or more, if you've got it, towards helping women choose life. All the information is available online for you right now to reserve your tickets for that event and to donate at vitaefoundation.org.
If you're like most Americans, you're pretty much in disbelief with what's going on in the world. As we all know, global problems are having local consequences. Too many of them. And if the peanut butter really hits the fan, are you ready? Grocery store supply chains are only as strong as their weakest link. Don't wait for them to break. Now's the time to secure emergency food for everyone in your family. My Patriot Supply is America's largest preparedness company. Our specially packaged and delicious food stays fresh for up to 25 years in storage. It'll be there when you need it. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and pick up several emergency food kits. There are a dozen different sizes that average over 2,000 calories per day. Our food kits will ship quickly and discreetly to your door. Having food storage in your home beats government food lines hands down. Go to mypatriotsupply.com today and prepare for what's coming. mypatriotsupply.com.
Politician Darren Bailey calls himself a conservative, swears he's a believer, but look closely at his record. Bailey's a deceiver, the textbook definition of a dishonest politician hiding his record. For instance, Bailey was caught on tape admitting he voted for Joe Biden. In his own words, listen.
I might have voted for Biden.
Biden for president?
I might have voted for Biden.
What kind of conservative votes for Joe Biden? The fake kind. Darren, the deceiver. But Bailey's a believer when it comes to one thing, property tax hikes. voted 13 times to raise property taxes, increasing 81%, even higher than Chicago. Jesse Sullivan's no better. Claims to be conservative, yet Sullivan backed Obama for president. His campaign's propped up by Pritzker Democrats, just like Bailey's. Sullivan even founded a group pushing open borders and amnesty for illegals. Sullivan and Bailey, not true conservatives, no matter what they say. Paid for by Urban for Illinois.
Surprise! Surprise! You know, surprise parties, they can be fun, right? Well, financial surprises, not so much, especially when you're retired, like finding out you owe more in taxes than you thought you would, or having to go back to work to make ends meet. Maybe you think you'll be okay, but why not double check just to be sure? Call Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions and schedule a retirement double check. Marvin and his team have been helping families plan for retirement for more than 15 years. Call 314-373-1598 to schedule your retirement double check with Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions. That's 314-373-1598. Don't let a financial surprise derail your retirement dreams. Give Marvin and the team a call, 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and in Illinois.
It's time for an $89 AC tune-up.
Annie Frey Show. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Is this just an illusion?
This is the Annie Frey Show.
20 years in debt.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy Friday. I feel like I have forgotten that it's Friday, but it is.
I have not.
Feeling like it's about to be 3 o'clock on a Friday, which is, a super great time for the people on the Annie Frey Show. We're broadcasting live out here at the St. Clair County GOP Golf Tournament at Tamarack Golf Course in Shiloh, Illinois. It's been such an amazing event. So many people who have come out here to support this great cause and to help restore some sanity to the state of Illinois. You can go to stclaircountyrepublicans.com. You can also find the St. Clair County Republicans on Facebook as well if you'd like to connect with them and see a little bit about what's going on out here. So we're broadcasting our Friday show out here. Brad is out here. Brad, you've never done a remote broadcast before.
Never done a remote before.
We're doing
Two
okay.
newbies with you today, Annie.
Yeah, and you know what? I have to say that the ultimate goal here is that we're on air.
Right.
And we are.
Right. We're on the air.
And we're doing great.
Yes.
I'm very proud of us. Brian is taking care of us from an engineer standpoint. Brian's doing a great job.
I feel like we need to clarify that's Brian is not me and Ryan. That's Brian.
That's
the
true.
Engineer.
No, Wiggins took the day off. He's not here. He had a situation. He had to tend to.
I got a thing.
Yeah. He had something just come up at the last minute and he couldn't
9 o'clock last night.
Yeah, but he's what?
I didn't think text messages could sound like man, I got a thing. But
yeah, I literally was like, are you coming or not? And he's like, I can't. But yeah, he's doing a dad thing, and that's just the way it is, and I understand that. So, but he'll be back on Monday. Brian is our engineer, and he is his own person. He's not the melding of Brad and Ryan. Although maybe he could be. You never know.
You never know.
And we got, of course, Signs of the Apocalypse here on Friday. Let's hit that and get to
now.
that.
Signs of the Apocalypse on the Annie Frey Show.
All right, our first story is for you guys who enjoy seltzers. A Missouri road was covered in adult beverages when a tractor trailer hauling a load of 44,000 pounds of hard seltzers overturned in the roadway.
Where was this?
This is where Wiggins. Where did this happen? Jake's gonna be like, I'll be right back.
Missouri State Police.
I gotta go do some research on the situation.
Missouri State Police said the truck went off the right side of Baseline Boulevard in Jasper County, and the driver overcorrected, causing the truck to overturn in the road. The overturned truck spilled cans of Vizzy hard seltzer across the roadway. I've never heard of
Have you
Vizzy.
I've not heard of
Busy?
that one either.
Yeah, all three of us. We're like the experts on hard seltzer. This is where Ryan needs to be here.
Right.
The White Claws.
It was not White Claw. Maybe that's where he went.
Oh, you know what? This is all starting to make sense right now. He heard there was a seltzer accident. He's like, I just have things to do.
Like something that
Jasper
he likes and
County.
it
I
could
don't
be.
know where that is.
You don't drink at all,
I don't drink at all. No.
and you're 20.
I don't drink it all either.
I am the resident alcohol expert here.
I got you, Annie. I drink every day.
Everybody around me is like, who needs to know about drinks? we can sit in here. Yeah, Jake. I mean, are you a seltzer guy?
I mean, I'll have it if it's offered to me. It's never going to be my first choice, but I mean, it's refreshing. You know, it's fine. I like it when I have it.
You got to be man enough to pick up a seltzer and just own it. Right?
I am secure enough in my masculinity. I'll drink whatever, man. If it works, I'm in.
If it works.
Like, I'm
Jake
really into
performs
boxed
Taylor
wine.
Swift.
I do
Boxed
perform Taylor
wine?
Swift. That's true. Oh yeah, boxed wine's the best.
Fair enough. There you go. Did you know that?
Yeah, he told me that. He's like, oh yeah, I do like the Taylor Swift, and sometimes I do Britney Spears songs. I'm like, wow.
So Jake, you're on Y98 right now, right?
Yes, and
That's
KZK
awesome. And
doing double
KZK.
duty. Yep.
Jake is all over the place here with Odyssey St. Louis, and really awesome that you filled in here for us today so that Hannah could be out here. I am
Yes,
super glad that
thank
Hannah
you,
is out here today.
Yeah, she had to beg for it though. It's like I really want to go to this
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, no kidding.
I know you're busy.
It's all good. Let me ask you this, Brad. If you see a truck overturned and there's something like that spilled all over the road,
So this is a funny story, but I was actually driving home from Six Flags and a watermelon truck turned over.
did you stop and pick one up?
Yeah.
I'm surprised by that. I thought you would have picked him up and helped
Well,
the people.
no, I helped the people. I didn't I watched it turn over, and I'm amazed that the driver was okay.
I was
but-
gonna say, is the seltzer driver okay? Do we know? If the
Yes.
story's- okay.
It was a woman from Nebraska, and she actually had her dog with her too, but they both are okay.
The dog's
But I feel like as being a good Samaritan and stopping and helping this guy out and calling 911 and letting Sue know that the traffic was going to be backed up.
This was recently.
This was pre-COVID, but I was still involved with the station. So
You really let Sue know?
yeah, I messaged a picture of it. It's like, this just happened right in front of me.
Wow, that's awesome.
So, and then I was like, I earned this watermelon.
So
And
you
just picked it up.
Oh, so that's what it's all about. I'm gonna be a good
so it was
Samaritan,
a
so they tip
reward.
me in watermelons. I walk away with at least one.
Well, it's that or it's going to go bad, so I might as well take it.
What
right?
do you think if you see a truck overturn Hannah and I don't like watermelon, but if it was something that was tipped over, is that like, what are they going to do with the watermelon if you don't take it?
It's going to spoil, and they're going to turn it into insurance.
I would first help
Exactly.
and then hopefully get rewarded.
Yeah.
Can I take one of these?
Tipped in watermelon.
Jake, are you taking a watermelon?
I probably wouldn't take a watermelon, but my answer to that question is going to change depending on what that truck is filled with.
I carried a watermelon. Name that movie. All right. Next.
Our second story, it is. I wish I had the picture to show you guys because that really sells it. A Maine driver said she was following her GPS navigation when she took the wrong turn and crashed into a local police station over the weekend, but authorities say she was just drunk. The accident happened in Portland when a 26-year-old woman drove through the Portland Police Department garage across its pedestrian plaza and then tried to drive down the stairs.
Oh no!
I'm looking at the
Police said it
pictures
was-
right now.
Yes.
You need to share it to the.
I
Share
did.
it to the
I
stream.
did. I sent you guys the link.
Oh,
Perfect.
okay.
I'll pop it up here while you're telling the story.
Police said it was fortunate that the woman didn't strike anyone during the incident. No injuries were reported, and the police said the crash resulted in minor property damage. The picture, I believe we're trying to pull it up, but I'll try to describe it for those of you who aren't on the live stream. It is literally an SUV down a flight of steps into a building.
She was drunk.
She was drunk, but she said that her GPS was taking her there.
It's like that scene from The Office. I have to turn right. You can't. There's a lake there.
I've you know what? I have not seen many episodes of The Office, but I have seen that episode of The Office. Yeah, I've got it popped up here on the live stream.
Yeah.
I was just following directions.
My
I really
favorite-
wish it wasn't a woman driver.
My favorite part of the whole
I
picture
know.
is that first one on the left, and it just says headquarters on top.
I'm here.
I had somewhere to be. And this was the easiest
Can I
way to
park
get
here?
there. Nobody else is. The spout was open.
I don't see any no parking signs. I thought it was fine.
That is
Some
awesome.
things, Matt, were just implied. Clearly not clear enough. That's hilarious.
All right. Our
we
next
got
story here is disturbing. Definitely a signs of the apocalypse. A woman gets married to her cat to avoid being evicted by her landlord.
How does that? What?
49-year-old Deborah Hodge had previously rehomed 3 of her cats by landlords who didn't want pets on their properties, but recently she was worried of having to lose her precious cat, India. That's when the cat mom got the idea that if her and her cat were to get married, that the landlord would have a hard time to separate the couple.
Can you marry your cat?
Apparently.
Yes. She and her cat got married at a civil ceremony in front of their family and friends.
So did she take the cat's name or did the cat take hers?
Who was the
I
cat's
don't know.
best
And what's-
man?
Meowington.
And what's funny is in the article that I found the story from, it says that she previously lost her job as a life coach.
Uh-huh.
She's a life coach who married a cat?
Yes.
She was a
previously
life
lost her
coach.
job.
Who married a
I wonder
cat.
Why didn't it work out? That's shocking to me. Can you imagine paying somebody to be your life coach and finding out that they married their cat?
So that's an
Is there
interesting
a
last
refund?
name. How did you get that one?
What, Meowington?
I need to know why she got fired because this happened after she got fired, right?
Maybe she was talking about the plans and the people were like, you're done.
She left a copy of the plans on the printer in the office.
Yeah, she left
Rookie
the
Marriage
mistake.
license. Her fingerprint and a paw print. This is very strange. So she married her cat. Let me just get this straight. She couldn't stay in her apartment or her home
Yes.
if with a cat, with a pet.
Yes.
So if I marry the pet, then the pet ceases to be a pet. It's my spouse.
Yes.
And then the landlord's like, oh, that's totally different. Like, how does that boil down to, oh, this is fine.
What an idea.
You know what it is?
What an
It's like,
idea.
if I marry my cat, I bet you my landlord just won't come around anymore. That might be the end game.
Oh, that's not her cat. That's her husband.
You might be moving to a different facility if that happens.
Yeah, against your will, but
Yeah.
I mean, they'll take care of you. You'll get 3 meals a day.
Walls are nice and padded.
It's great.
That's what I got for signs today.
That's it. That's awesome. I mean, I said there's some really, that is a sign of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
If I'm living next door to somebody who's married to their cat, I'm moving.
I mean, like I appreciate the innovative nature of what she's trying to do, but still.
Well, what does it matter if the lawn is mowed, if the trash cans are in the garage? Who cares who I'm living next to? I'm not worried
Kitty
about
litter
it.
is clean.
Yeah,
The litter box clean.
Mind it all.
That's so terrible.
You guys are following all the neighborhood rules.
It said that her family and friends went to the wedding.
Oh, they had a
She
ceremony.
yes, she must have very
Either understanding or voyeuristic.
what a pack.
Yeah.
Family member.
What
Man.
a pack.
We are broadcasting live from the St. Clair County GOP Golf Tournament in Shiloh, Illinois at Tamarack Golf Course. We are very glad that you're spending some of your Friday with us. Thanks for choosing to spend some time with us. We got a Annie Frey YouTube channel live chat poll up there right now, and we want you to go vote because we're going to discuss this in the 2 o'clock hour with your comments attached. Here's the question. Is it cool to be conservative? Simple yes or no response there in the poll, and you can go ahead and comment on the live chat why you think it is or isn't cool to be a conservative, and we'll get your reaction there as well. And also, Hannah is going to make me tell you that there's an Ask Me Anything coming.
I was just about to push for that.
And if you would like to ask us anything, Brad or Hannah, you can throw Jake in there. Jake, your entire soul is going to be born to the listener here in the 2 o'clock hour. You can ask us his questions in the live chat as well. We've got quite a few people watching. Come join us there and stream us on the Odyssey app. If you need to go out and about, find 97.1 FM Talk on the Odyssey app and take us with you wherever you go. Quick break. When we come back, more Annie Frey Show in a minute. We'll get to some headlines and stick with us right here. Back in a second. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. The Mark Cox Morning Show.
I would really love to tell Whoopi what to do. If the world ends and you're ever looking for a way to torture me personally, just tie me up in a chair and make me watch that show for hours. Yeah, I almost couldn't imagine anything worse. Honestly.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
Air Comfort Service is a long-time sponsored 97.1 and partnered here with us on the Annie Frey Show. And it's just really great to be able to connect you with people who, when you have a situation come up in your home with your HVAC system, your furnace, it's not working well, it's May, and your furnace is going, why are you running me? It's May. And you're like, I don't know, I'm mad about this too because it's 52 degrees outside and it should be warmer. Yeah, we get it. Sometimes your furnace just needs maintenance. It needs a tune-up each year. Same thing with your HVAC system, your air conditioning unit. And you can trust the people at Air Comfort Service to come out and deliver you the service that you need and the quality care for that system in your house that can avoid quite costly repairs down the road if you don't take care of it. I know you're not thinking about your air conditioner right now, but Air Comfort Service is willing to come over there and take a look at it and make sure it's in good working order. If you are interested in having them come out, if you know that you need to replace the unit either in your residence or in your place of business, give them a call. They have rebates available. They have 0% financing available. Give them a call at 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. Online at aircomfortservice.com.
The Fed has raised rates.
But there's still time to put extra cash in your pocket with a cash out refinance from Golden Oak Lending.
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak. With home values at all-time highs and our low rates, you can pull more cash out of your home.
Call 314-567-GOLD today, while Golden Oak still has millions of dollars available.
Golden Oak branding, pure top blue.
NMLS 114937.
Custom fit lens to gently vibrate the eardrum without surgery. That means EarLens gives you 2.5 times the audible bandwidth of traditional hearing aids for dramatically better speech understanding. EarLens may result in improved hearing, even in noisy listening situations. To learn more, go to earlens.com today. That's EARLENS.com and register for a free virtual consultation. That's earlens.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Need a break from the sound bites and the talking heads? Do you want information you can actually use? Information that'll change your life for the better? Then listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Looking for a pre-owned car and can't find it yet? This is Frey George, General Manager of ALM Cars in Hazelwood. We got over 400 vehicles in stock, foreign and domestic, with truckloads more on the way. Come check out our inventory at ALM Cars, located at 270 and McDonald Boulevard in Hazelwood, or online at almcars.com.
Make sure you check out the inventory at ALM Cars, located at 270 and McDonald Boulevard in Hazelwood, or online at almcars.com. Pull up the hashtag Fred George.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studios. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 53 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Information to keep you moving. Dependable traffic mornings and afternoons with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. You're listening to the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy Friday. And we're out here at the St. Clair County GOP Golf Tournament at Tamarack Golf Course in Shiloh, Illinois. Hannah and Brad and myself broadcasting live from this golf tournament. So excited to be around so many people who have supported the St. Clair County GOP. If you're interested in learning more, you can go to stclaircountyrepublicans.com or find the St. Clair County Republicans on Facebook. This news just came through. Fox News reporting, this news alert just came through, that Dave Chappelle alleged attacker Isaiah Lee pleads not guilty to misdemeanor charges for tackling comedians. So let's dive into this a little bit, because we did find out, I think they were going to charge him with a felony assault.
Right, because he had a weapon.
A gun that wasn't a gun, but it was like a bayonet.
Yeah, it was a gun with a knife on it.
That's not like a normal thing, right?
No, I don't.
I saw a picture of it, and I was.
Was it a handgun?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not a normal.
Can you break down for me the Dave Chappelle attack?
Do you know about this?
Not really, no.
So he was doing a set in LA. Comedy.
Was it LA Bowl? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Hollywood Bowl, I believe.
Hollywood Bowl. Yeah, thank you, Jake. That's why Jake's here, to be culturally relevant for us.
That's why you bring the music station people over, so the popcorn.
Exactly. Tell us about the culturally current things that are going on. Yeah, Hollywood Bowl. I'll just read the latest news from Fox News. A California man accused of allegedly barging onto the stage and tackling comedian Dave Chappelle during a show at the Hollywood Bowl was in court on Friday morning to face charges in connection with the assault. So initially they were going to charge him with felony assault, is what I understood. And the local DA was like, no, we're not doing that.
We're not doing that. And I think the reason that he said that they weren't doing that was because he didn't actually have the whatever you want to call it, the weapon on him whenever he tackled Chappelle, but it was in his bag. So
here's Isaiah Lee entered a not guilty plea. I mean, he tackled Dave Chappelle.
There has to be video evidence
on
of
a
that.
stage. There is. It's floating around out there. His bail was set at $30,000. Lee had a sling and bandaged arm during his court appearance. Next court date is May 20th. Lee, who's 23 years old, was initially charged with a felony count of assault with a deadly weapon after he rushed the stage during Chappelle's stand-up performance Tuesday night as part of the Netflix is a Joke Fest. That's the name of the Chappelle show. Chappelle had just completed his act around 10:40 p.m. local time when Lee, quote, jumped onto the stage and tackled the comedian to the ground. Like, how scary would that be?
Is Dave Chappelle okay? Has anybody heard from him?
Yeah, he was fine.
Has he came out or anything?
He was not like injured or whatever in the event.
Just probably shaken up.
Totally shaken up. According to Fox News, he then allegedly, quote, produced what was later discovered to be a replica handgun and pointed the item at the victim.
Oh.
And quote, Lee was found at the time to have been in possession of a counterfeit, it says back handgun, but I feel like it should say black handgun. Fox News, come on. That had a knife attached, according to the police. Like, yeah, here's a picture of it right now. It's just like a fake handgun with a knife stuck in the end of it.
Yeah. That's like a rubber gun with a, oh my gosh.
Isn't that bizarre? So he jumps on the stage and then,
Looks scary though.
Yeah, immediately arrested. Isn't it kind of ridiculous the way the reaction was to this, and then the way Will Smith just got to return to his seat?
Well, yeah, and then get awarded Best Actor.
Best Actor.
Oh.
I mean, they're both assault, right? Right?
I mean, this guy, last name Lee, tackles Dave Chappelle. That's if you're going to compare the two, potentially less violent than what Will Smith did to Chris Rock.
Well, and the attacker in the Chris Rock one got hurt worse than the the person who was being attacked.
Yes, but it's on Fox News says. But on Thursday, LA City Attorney Mike Fore announced downgraded misdemeanor charges. Instead of the felony, Lee was charged with battery, possession of a weapon with intent to assault, unauthorized access to the stage area during a performance, and commission of an act that delays the event or interferes with the performer. Quote, this alleged attack has got to have consequences. My office takes protecting public safety extremely seriously, and we are going to vigorously prosecute this case. How does this, I mean, we've seen, do you ever watch any Chappelle specials?
I don't, because I don't have Netflix.
Have you ever seen,
I used to watch Chappelle's show.
It's so funny. I love Dave Chappelle. But I mean, he is, I find him to be just an incredibly compelling person. And I don't agree with him on the majority of maybe political stances he would take, but at least conceptually speaking, he has a pretty common sense way of approaching a lot of these issues that people are facing. And I think it's very much so interesting to consider how is an event like this and the potential, like it's not going to be what happened to him is not going to be a felony, being bumped down to a misdemeanor, and now he's pleading not guilty. Will this affect his thoughts and opinion on the criminal justice system? And if it does, how will that affect his stand-up routine? I think it's kind of interesting to think about.
He seems to be the kind of guy that like he comes off as very intelligent in his comedy, and he thinks through issues. And that's what makes his comedy so funny is that he points out the ridiculousness of the true nature of some of the stuff that's going on.
And nobody is really safe. Like he's his
Right.
own man, and he thinks
Right.
his own thoughts, and he delivers them in a way that you have to listen to what he's saying to the very end to know what he thinks about
Right.
something.
And so then when you experience, like, life changes when something happens to you, and
Oh,
it's
sure.
not just
Mhm.
happening to other people. And so, yeah, I think this is going to affect the way he thinks about that, because if this, like, it's still ridiculous to me. This guy's like, I didn't do it. I'm
Yeah.
not guilty. It's like, they got you on camera doing it, dude. It's like, yeah, that's not me. But seriously though, what is going on? Why aren't we prosecuting people?
Yeah, like, well, the whole concept of easily and obviously defining who's the criminal and who's the victim. Like, why is it that it's not so incredibly obvious? Like,
I know
the thing that people who are working to invest in criminal justice reform, what they're going to do is they're going to look at this guy who tackled Dave Chappelle on the stage, and they are going to want to figure out a way to make sure that he's treated in a way that is like accommodating to him. But you went on, like, people know that you're the guy who went on stage and attacked Dave Chappelle.
I don't understand how there's even a case here.
It's super bizarre.
Yeah,
it really is. We got stuff blowing over on the table right now. Like the wind is blowing.
It is getting colder.
It is.
It's starting to hurt.
This says it's 56 now. I
That's-
don't believe you. I don't believe you. Stop
I'd say
lying to
that's
me.
a stretch.
54.
You can
Run
come
by
on
inactive
back,
weather.
Hannah. It's nice and warm. You can set a piece of paper down and it won't go anywhere.
Oh man,
It's
the
a good
camera
setup
just
I got
blew out
back
the
here.
thing
I know.
in the
I
middle
saw.
of
I
it.
love it.
Did you hear like totally?
Watching you and Brad try to set it back up was entertainment in and of itself.
And we tried not to miss a beat. If you noticed,
You
we
didn't.
just kept talking.
You did
I wonder what I
great.
said.
I know you looked at me with those eyes and was like,
What do we do? Just keep talking about stuff. We are broadcasting live from the St. Clair County GOP Golf Tournament, Tamarack Golf Course in Shiloh, Illinois. And it is a little bit chilly out here, but the golf is being played and funds are being raised to help make Illinois a more common sense place. And if you're interested in learning more, if you're in the St. Clair County area, be sure that you look up stclaircountyrepublicans.com. Check out their website. You can find them on Facebook as well and get connected with them. In the 2:00 hour, when we come back, we are going to have an Ask Me Anything. Do you have any questions yet?
I have a few questions. I would love some more. So comment those in the live stream. If you have a question, you can ask us anything.
Yep. You go in the Annie Fry YouTube channel, which is where the majority of people, you can watch us on Facebook too, but Facebook is just a big pain in the butt these days.
Oh, yeah.
It kicks off us on Facebook on a regular basis due to some of the music we play and everything. So we have to make sure that we keep things rolling, and YouTube does a good job of keeping us there. There's a lot of people watching there. So go on to the live chat and comment your question for any of us, and we'll answer them when we come back. You can also answer the question, the YouTube poll question today, and it is it cool to be a conservative? Love to hear your take on this. I do see people commenting like, I don't care if it's cool to be a conservative, which kind of in and of itself is cool.
Yeah.
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 But you know,
You can't be cool if you're worrying about other people thinking you're cool.
for sure. But Hannah, as a 20-year-old, if it's not cool to be a conservative, then young people aren't going to be interested in it. There has to be a little bit of a, what's that about? Kind of a raise your eyebrow. And I have a feeling, and this is kind of tipping off where I think that this is going, that it's headed that way in a big, big way. And I think that if it becomes the counterculture thing to do, because let's be honest, to be a progressive in the past, well, to be honestly a liberal, I mean, if you know what it means to be a liberal, like the classic understanding of what it means to be a liberal, folks, that's the Republican Party these days.
Yeah.
in a really, really crazy way. So go vote on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. We will be back in the 2 o'clock hour with your Ask Me Anything questions. Please do Hannah a big favor and go comment on the YouTube live stream and give her some fodder. We got one more hour of the Annie Frey Show left out here. We'll be back in just a minute.
When you have Rhino Shield on your house, it does a couple of things for you. It beautifies the house and it protects it from the harshest elements. And boy, do we see those here in the greater St. Louis area. You get instant curb appeal. It will stick to anything. Rhino Shield is the answer, no matter whether you're painting a home or a church or a business or a condo, because it's 100% waterproof. It takes care of the outdoor maintenance on whatever is on the outside of your home. The brick, the block, aluminum, steel, stucco. They can put this on with the 2 to 3 coat process. They're there about a week, and they do a great job. A lot of businesses have done it in the area. Several Firestones have done that. Vantage Credit Union over the years, Harlan Packaging down in DeSoto. Call Darren today and schedule your free estimate. 877-25-RHINO, easy to remember phone number, or go online today at 877-25rhino.com.
Congratulations on buying a home. You are dreaming of warm fireplace memories. Have English Sweep certified sweeps inspect your chimney with cameras, making sure to keep fire in its place. English Sweep with 40 years experience protecting your investment. EnglishSweep.com.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Pineview Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Pineview Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now. 314-530-7777.
Camping season is here, and Apache Village RV Center's open house May 6th and 7th is the perfect time to shop RVs from Jayco, Keystone, and Fleetwood. Family owned and operated for over 40 years. Apache Village Open House will offer huge discounts to fit every budget, plus special giveaways, Barbecue Friday, and the local famous Pueblo Nuevo catering on Saturday. The Apache Village Open House, May 6th and 7th, located in Hazelwood.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Lori Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
If you're retiring soon, join us Saturday at 9:30 a.m. for your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
A break in the case of an inmate and a prison guard on the run. Lisa Brady, Fox News. U.S. Marshals say a getaway vehicle from the Alabama prison escape has been found in Williamson, Tennessee. Fox's Steve Harrigan.
This Ford SUV that was purchased by the guard in cash just 2 days before that escape recovered in central Tennessee near the city of Franklin. It's not clear when the car was dumped there, which direction in what they left from the Franklin area. But keep in mind, central Tennessee is an area where this convict has a history, Casey White, and it is a lengthy history. It includes violent home invasions as well as shooting and wounding a former girlfriend. He was serving 75 years to life and faced a potential death penalty. That's when he made the shocking escape 8 days ago.
The escape happened on what was supposed to be retirement day for veteran corrections official Vicky White, who recently sold her house. Sheriff's officials are set to hold a briefing. Ukrainian forces defending the last pocket of territory they hold in the heavily bombarded city of Mariupol, a steel plant where civilians are still being evacuated.
Over the past 2 days, more than 500 civilians have been evacuated from the steel plant through corridors organized by the United Nations. While officials in Moscow agreed to a ceasefire during this time period, Russian forces continued to bomb the plant from the air and the ground.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Kyiv. Members of the UN Security Council, including Russia, agree on a statement expressing support for the UN leaders' efforts to find a peaceful solution to what's being called a dispute instead of a war or invasion or special military operation, as Russia has called it. The council plans to vote on that statement today. First Lady Jill Biden serving dinner to U.S. service members in Romania, beginning a 4-day visit to Europe. She'll spend Mother's Day with Ukrainian refugees in Slovakia. America is listening to Fox News.
I tend to second-guess dinners with friends because they're often interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit Creon.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREON.com.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Chilly times on this Friday afternoon. The high 65 degrees, cloudy and rather windy. Some gusty winds, any rain and non-severe thunderstorms coming to an end, but it's a slow process. Tonight, slow clearance, stays windy, 48. Saturday, partly to mostly sunny skies, but a little cool, 60s to near 70. And Sunday, partly sunny and 79. This is 97.1 FM Talk, Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Think about it.
If you paid $100,000 for a degree that's going to pay you $20,000 a year, you didn't make a good investment.
Talk about it.
First of all, our economy is not trickle down. They're going to give out that money, and you know what it's going to do? It's going to trickle up. And it's going to end up in the pocket of people who produce things and own things. So, yes, the billionaires will get richer. And it's nonsensical. Biden gave out a couple $1 trillion, and it trickled up.
It's the place for ideas. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas.
Small businesses are the backbone of America. Yet when it comes to workers' comp insurance, you rarely get the savings you deserve. That's because insurance companies tend to lump you in with other businesses, and you can get overcharged. At Pi Insurance, we're on a mission to change that. With Pi, you get a quote specific to your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle and no hidden fees. If you like savings, take 3 minutes to see how much you could save at trypi.com. Pi makes workers' comp insurance as easy as pie, with friendly representatives just a call away. No wonder customers rate our service excellent on Trustpilot. You work hard to build your business and keep your employees safe. You deserve more from your workers' comp provider. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote today at trypi.com. That's trypie.com.
Updating your home with James Hardie siding has never been more popular. With all of the options available, you need a partner to maximize your investment. The rising prices on vinyl siding has made Hardie siding a great alternative. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today.
Dell Technologies wants to celebrate all your hard work with these Small Business Month specials. Get great value offers on powerful laptops, desktops, and servers with Windows 11 Pro starting at $499, plus top monitors and docks, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. It's the perfect time to upgrade so you and your team can stay secure from anywhere. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL to refresh your business tech with these Small Business Month specials. Dell recommends Windows 11 Pro for business.
Tim's taxes were an unbelievably tangled mess. The IRS just wouldn't work with me. Then Optima got involved, and I mean, they really got involved.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
It's like having two lives, the one before Optima Tax and the one after.
Do what Tim did. Call Optima now for a free consultation. Call 800-953-1788. 800-953-1788.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The best way to listen to music is at a concert in the front row. And the best way to eat a Nature Valley Crunchy Bar is outside. Somehow it makes the crunch even crunchier and the whole grains even whole grainier. See for yourself with Nature Valley.
Concert Week is here. Now through May 10th, get $25 tickets for Josh Groban, Chicago with Brian Wilson, The Who, and more. Get $25 tickets while supplies last. Tickets only $25 now through May 10th at livenation.com.
There's a music station that fits your taste at Odyssey.com. Download the app for instant access to hundreds of music stations and listen live to 97.1 FM Talk. The Odyssey app. Download it or stream from 971talk.com. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock. River views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. The Loading Dock on the river in Grafton, Illinois.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Well, welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy Friday, 2 o'clock on a Friday, and we are so glad that you are here with us. We are broadcasting live from Shiloh, Illinois at the St. Clair County GOP Golf Tournament at Tamarack Golf Course. These folks are out on the golf course right now playing golf, and it is not raining, and it hasn't been raining a drop the entire time we were out here. So
we've gotten very lucky.
It's good.
Yeah, no, yeah. This is really good. Actually, this guy's getting ready to tee up. Looks like he's swinging a microwave.
I know. He's a big club head.
Yeah,
he's on the 10th tee and the wide. Here he goes. Whack. I don't know where the ball went.
It is not raining.
Not a lot of loft in that one.
No. I know. I wish I said next time we do this, if we do another golf scramble, I want to set the remote up on a tee box.
Yes. That would be awesome.
Yes. And if you hit it in the fairway while we're heckling you from the broadcast, we get a sponsor to donate like $10 to the cause or something.
Right. That would be awesome.
We'll just heckle everybody who comes up.
Have you guys seen those videos? They're on TikTok a lot. It's just people like as they're about to swing, as they're teeing up, everyone behind them is just trying to make them laugh and back off of their shot.
Yeah. I mean, we could totally do that. Wiggins isn't here today, but we can make that work.
Oh, yeah.
That was an AMA question.
Okay, well, let's do that. Okay, Jake, let's get to it. Ask me anything on a Friday afternoon.
If you have anything to ask me, just go ahead.
I want the truth.
Say it.
Thank you for your honesty.
You can't handle the truth. And the truth shall set you free.
If you have any Ask Me Anything questions you would like to ask the crew, Hannah is monitoring the live chat on the Annie Frey Show Facebook page and the Annie Frey YouTube channel. And you got a couple questions to ask.
Yes. First one is, where's Wiggins? Looking for the seltzers that turned over in Jasper County.
Why Brad?
Yeah.
Am I my brother's keeper?
Go ahead.
So
tell us more about the other half of Brian.
The other half of Brian is actually taking care of some kids.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but
we found out last in the evening. It wasn't, he was supposed to be out here, but
he wanted to be.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe not. I don't know.
I'm skeptical. But he's doing the dad thing, and he'll be back on Monday.
Okay, our next question is for Annie. Dana from YouTube, where'd it go? Okay, Tara from YouTube asked, how is the Century Barn holding up? Any updates?
Oh, the barn. It is not up anymore.
Oh.
So
what happened to it?
My family's farm was hit during that Amazon, the tornado that made national news. That hit the Amazon building in December. It also hit that you can see the Amazon building from my parents' house, and that's not like a Sarah Palin Russia thing,
Right.
which actually Sarah Palin said you can see Russia from Alaska, and that's actually true.
Yeah, this is true.
And it's actually more relevant today than it has ever been before that you can actually see Russia from Alaska, which is, yes, part of the United States. Regardless, the Amazon building was maybe 1 mile, 2 miles just due west of the area where my parents live. And that tornado also swiped my parents' barn. It was built in 1901, I believe. And it caused the entire barn to shift, and the structure had shifted, and they had multiple people come out and look at it to try to figure out how to save it. And it turned out it was going to cost 6 figures to save it. And that's a lot of money for a barn. And I think, Dad, if you're listening, sorry, I'm going to get this wrong. I think that there were 28 points of the structure that were like the key joints where it held the thing up. And you got to think about a barn being built in 1901. Like these are like grooves,
right?
Yeah, tongue and groove and like wood pegs.
Yes. And to think that it's 2022 and that barn was still standing because of the way that they had built this structure in 1901 is a miracle in and of itself. But I think of the 28 points of intersection where the thing needed to be strong, like 26 of them were compromised.
Wow.
And the fact that it was still standing was kind of like, they were like, you need to not go.
There was just a crash on the golf course.
Is that Craig Lombardi over there?
No, that was not.
Let's just pretend it's Craig Lombardi. Or Balls, because we know Balls is golfing out here today. But anyway, like it was massively compromised. And if you looked at it straight on, you could see the whole thing was like slanted.
Yeah.
And my parents have grandkids running around the farm all the time. And it just, if you want to spend, like, you think about what you could do with, I mean, I'm talking like 6 figures.
Right.
Like well above just the 6-figure mark to reconfigure the thing. It'd almost be rebuilding it. So it had to come down. So they partnered with an organization that collects all that wood.
Oh, good.
The wood is very valuable.
Yes.
And it was preserved, and it will live on in various capacities. And my parents are it's down. It came down. I have a video of it. I'll share a video of it on the Indify YouTube channel maybe this weekend.
Okay.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you that the duration of the time, because that tornado was in December, and it just came down in mid-April, I think it was. And the sheet metal that served as the roof, or whatever, the roofing was metal, like it had been kind of turned and tangled in the tornado, and it would, in the wind, it would kind of creak. And it was sad for it to be still standing, but in a way that you could tell was terminal.
Hurting.
I mean, it felt like losing a family member, and you knew that it was terminal. And so for it to be down, my parents have some interesting things that they're planning on doing in the future with it. So very sad that the barn did come down, but it's down now.
Yeah.
Let's get to a happier question now that I'm sad about hearing that. Balls, our listener who is on the golf course right now, says, after seeing that mess, who wants golf lessons from Balls? Balls, I would want golf lessons from about anybody because I am awful.
Can you explain what happened when he was on that tee box that we could see right next to the clubhouse?
So he lined up his shot, and it was nice and straight, and it went. So I don't know how many yards that would be, but it probably went 50 yards?
Not very far.
Yeah, not very far, and it didn't.
But it was straight.
It was straight, but it didn't get above about waist high, and then right here, right in line with us, it hit something and it went splash. I lost sight of it, and I just saw water go splash.
Well, it's funny because if I'm talking to Brad right now or facing the camera, my back is kind of, my head is not facing where he is, but I could tell that you could see somebody that you knew. And it turned out we made him pretty nervous.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he heard us talking about it while he was on the cart, and he almost fell off the cart. So, but you know what?
Get it together, Balls.
I'd go golfing with Balls.
Sure.
Yeah, I would too. This is the second time we've seen him this week. It's
Yes.
great.
Is there any other way to golf than with Balls?
Golf balls. That's right.
Wow,
That's
Brad.
You
Wow.
can't go golfing without golf balls.
I almost said it, and I decided, you know what? I don't think that this one is good enough for the air.
Listen,
This is the last time that they invite us to come out here.
Wiggins
'Cause they
is
can
not
hear
here.
our conversation, but they got to be thinking behind it. There's people all around us. What are they talking about?
Someone commented earlier and said we were going to get kicked off the golf course for yelling.
I was yelling at somebody over there on that tee. It's like, Annie, you can't yell. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I can here. This is the only time I can.
All right,
Man.
Jennifer from YouTube asked if Oh boy. If you could change a liberal's mind on one issue, what would it be?
Abortion for me.
Abortion.
Easily.
I think I would have to agree. I mean, that is
Just consequentially speaking, like if you win on an issue, what do you win? How could it not be that issue?
Right.
And it's, like listen, if you listen to the show a lot and you think, oh, Annie, she's a Trumper and a Republican and, she hates Democrats, like you don't listen very much because I'm very open-minded to talking to people who have different thoughts and opinions on issues than I do. But the key here is on that particular issue, like, let's just break down the facts of the matter and let's find the facts that we can agree on. And maybe there aren't facts that we can agree on. Maybe you don't believe that it's a baby until it's physically born. But I can't understand how, like, Dr. Ben Carson has worked on babies in utero. That's his like claim to fame. Like, that is the amazing thing that he has done is he has opened women up to actively operate as a surgeon on babies that are in utero. And you know what he does when he goes in there? He gives them sedatives. He gives those babies pain medication so that they can go through that process while they're in utero. And then he puts them back in the womb and he closes the mother up. And then that baby is born at the appropriate time. Why are we giving these babies that are in utero pain medication when we're operating to save their lives? Why are we like how can we be so obtuse to look at that scenario and not go, obviously this is a child. So if we can agree that it's a child, like, first let's go there, because if you're still pro-abortion, and I consider pro-choice to be pro-abortion, if you're still pro-abortion and you believe that it's a child,
yeah,
that's where I want to change your mind.
And to me, like you said, it's a child. That's to me, every major stance that I have really is based on somebody's life. Life is valuable. Life is important. Human life is very important. You can talk about it with abortion. If you are able to outlaw abortion, you're not going to end more lives. You're going to save more lives.
Yeah.
More lives will be saved by the outlawing of abortion. There's no way you can argue around that based on the number of abortions that occur in this country. And to me, it's the same thing with the Second Amendment. I'm not a proponent of the Second Amendment because I want to take life. I want to protect it. And I know that there are people out there that want to take life.
Yeah. And you constitutionally have the right to protect your life. And we do have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And that at the most basic root, the pursuit of happiness has to be breath.
Right. And for the baby has those same rights.
Yes.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
And we have to help these women in the midst of it. You cannot demonize the woman in an effort to save lives. It won't work that way.
I feel like a lot of the women out there are kind of almost pressured into it, like they funnel you in and then it's like, no, this is the right way. You're making the right decision. You're doing this, you're doing that. And they're like, I don't know. And
G-Wibs on YouTube says even Whoopi accidentally called it a child. So did the president of the United States. And it's interesting especially right now this week after the Supreme Court leak, this has been on the minds and the lips of so many different people who are talking about this issue. Listen to the way they talk about baby, child, kid, so on and so forth. I think that's the key point.
All right, we have another question from Mike G. For the whole crew, he asked, it is mushroom season, hunting season. Do any of you participate in looking for these delicious mushrooms? I actually have never heard of this until this year. And Mr. Wonderful's mom and grandpa go and look for them like every day. I never knew that was a thing.
You need a warm, sunny day after a rain.
Right.
Yes, I have. I have, and I haven't done it lately. But I grew up talking about my parents' house. I grew up kind of on a farm. I mean, it's a historic farm, and there's land involved, but there's no animals involved. But we have woods and stuff, and I mean, you can get them popping up in the front yard depending on the conditions.
Oh yeah, and they're good too.
So delicious. Have you ever had sautéed morel mushrooms?
I have not. No.
Is that how you make them?
Oh yeah. Well, we deep fried them too.
Oh, I bet that's good.
But that's probably why I had heart issues. But
just because you eat something that's deep fried doesn't mean that you're gonna.
Yeah, but I ate a lot of things that were deep fried.
Well.
Well, you learn from it.
But again, it's delicious, and it's unique in the sense that you get to go out, you grab it out, and you bring it. It's old school.
Yeah.
And so it's neat. I would recommend it to anybody. That
whenever we're talking about, like, we've talked about preparing for disasters, not necessarily like other countries attacking us or anything, but just maybe like a weather event where the power goes out or something like that. Like knowing what kind of mushrooms you can eat and which ones you cannot eat.
Yeah.
Key important.
Very
stuff.
important.
Yeah, you
Right,
find
you
the
have one more
mushrooms
question?
at the end of the day, you get a little stoned, bro. These are the same mushrooms
Jake,
we're talking about, right?
Jake, we're talking about something else.
Okay. I gotta stop like listening to
I mean, I know you're
conversations
not.
after they've already started.
Like, yeah, I was on the Annie Fry show. They were talking about doing shrooms. It's no big deal.
It's like, yo, dude, you're not gonna believe what Annie's talking about today.
She told me to use butter.
That's one way of increasing your audience.
Chris from YouTube asked, who would you like to walk on stage and slap?
Ryan Wiggins. Just kidding. I would never slap him. Who would I like to slap?
I
don't want to I don't want to physically assault anybody. Who's your answer?
Yeah, I'm that same way. I would rather not do that because as a performer myself, I don't even like it when people like walk up to me because I play at the lake.
Kind of behavior.
Oh yeah, I hate like when people. I'll play at the lake and somebody will just come up to me. They have a couple drinks and they want to put their arm around me and request John Mellencamp, and I'm like, yo, personal bubble. But if I had to choose somebody, I'm just not a fan of Machine Gun Kelly, man. I'm not. If I had to pick somebody,
wow. Tell us how you really feel.
Engineer Brian
I
is
can't. The FCC will come after me.
Are you a big Machine Gun Kelly fan? Huge.
And Travis Barker.
Man, of all of the emotions that we have been able to exude out here today in this frigid cold weather, fighting with all of this technology, that is the most worked up I've seen Brian here today. Way to go, Jake.
Wow.
Jaw
I was
dropped.
just answering the question. It's the segment. Okay? I could really get into it if you want, but I don't think we need to do that.
I can't. I don't know anything about him. Isn't he married to the? Are they the two that like swapped blood?
Megan.
Kelly.
They don't swap
Megan
blood.
Megan Fox.
They don't
This is how
swap blood.
stupid I am when it comes
They drink each other's blood for ritual.
No, they
purposes.
do not.
Yes,
That
they
can't
do.
be
Machine
real.
Gun Kelly will open up his chest with a piece of glass or something, and then she'll drink it. But they only do it on the full moon. I talked about this on Y98 a lot.
They only do it on the.
Yeah.
Jake, you
Oh.
say that like it makes it normal. Knock it off.
So supposedly Megan Fox is really into like the astrology, spiritualistic stuff, and if you're into that, that's fine. I'm not down to you drinking your fiance's blood fresh out of his chest, but whatever. But a couple days ago, there was a story, and I'm gonna see if I can't find it. But there's like this organization that they're like real life vampires, like that's their lifestyle. And even they came out and said, yo, what they're doing, not cool. Even we like blood test each other before we drink each other's blood. Yeah.
Or just don't.
Or
That's
don't.
another
also
thing. I
true.
wish I just didn't know.
Oh man.
Wow.
Is that enough, Brian? Are you still Machine Gun Kelly fan?
You like people who
Huge.
drink other people's
Massive.
blood?
That's not his thing, but Machine Gun Kelly is clearly. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Brad has prepared an Annie, Are You Okay segment. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can't do worse than Wiggins does.
Nope.
We basically, he's in the studio every Friday at 2, and like if anybody walks past the studio, we're like, you want to do Annie, Are You Okay?
Anybody, please, come on.
Well, this a classic Ryan Wiggins Annie, Are You Okay segment starts with him telling a story and going, and then in the middle of it, he literally says, "This is terrible."
Are you okay with that?
He doesn't ever have a question. There's never anything to ask. Oh, we miss him. We miss Wiggins. He's spending some time with his kids. We're spending some time with the people out here at Tamarack Golf Course with the St. Clair County GOP golf tournament. And we're spending time with you. Thanks for being here with us. We'll be back in a minute with Annie. Are You Okay?
The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. 97.1 is St. Louis's radio destination for information with perspective. It's where St. Louis and beyond comes to talk. Right here, right now. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Hey, St. Louis, it's Michael Mohan with Community Mortgage. The real estate market is as hot as the center of a freshly cooked toasted ravioli, making this a great time to use the equity in your home for a cash-out refinance, to upgrade your outdated kitchen, or consolidate your high-interest credit card debt, saving hundreds each month. If you're in the market to purchase a new home, don't trust your loan to an out-of-state call center or online lender. Call me. Call Michael Mohan at 314-336-6050. I want to save you money on your home purchase, refinance, or debt consolidation. and put my 20 years of local loan experience to work for you. When you call, you'll speak to me, and I will tailor a loan to fit your needs. So call 314-336-6050, 314-336-6050, or online at communitymortgagestl.com.
Community Mortgage LLC, 224-143, NMLS 250353.
If customized storage is something that you have dreamt about, but you think is a little out of your reach, think again, because the Closet Factory, when they come to your home and they look at your situation, your mess, they've come to mind and they literally said, don't clean up, don't organize before we come over because you think you're having company over. Just leave stuff the way it is so that we can see where your real trouble areas are. They will come in and provide you that customized storage solution that you've been dreaming about. And I'm here to tell you too, that they have like a wide range of ways that you can go about this for function, which is what we did in our master closet and in my kiddos closet so that we could accommodate, a whole new human coming into our home. Or you can really, really do it up with stunning finishes that they can put into your project. Your master closet, your laundry room, your kitchen pantry, your garage, your entertainment space, maybe in the basement, or built-ins that just look like they're finished with the house. You need to reach out to the St. Louis business, the Closet Factory. Great supporter to the Annie Frey Show, and I really encourage you to give them a chance for your customized storage solution. You can give them a call at 314-961-4300. You can visit them online right now at closetfactory.com.
I'm Matt Spiegel, and I'm the host of the brand new podcast, Beat the Streak Daily. Every weekday this Major League season, I will update the state of Beat the Streak. The rules are simple. Each day, pick one or two players you think will get a hit. And if they do, your streak continues. Sounds doable, right? But so far, it's been impossible to win. And with millions of dollars on the line, no one has ever gotten to 56. Subscribe now to Beat the Streak Daily, wherever you get your podcasts, and play Beat the Streak for your chance to win $5.6 million.
Attention business owners. This is a public awareness message from the ThrottleNet cybersecurity team. The war against hackers and ransomware is underway. The only way to prevent the war from impacting your business is to speak with the ThrottleNet cybersecurity team immediately. You need to act now. The ThrottleNet cybersecurity team is prepared to protect you against cyber threats. Schedule a meeting right away by visiting throttlenet.com/cyberwar.
I'll be there for you. And on May 13th, we hope you'll be there too. It's Friends Night at the ballpark. Pivot down to Busch Stadium on Friday, May 13th, when the Cardinals host the Giants. With the purchase of a special theme ticket, fans will take home their own Central Perk mug. Come early for a pregame concert of 90s hits from Proud Larry. That's Friday, May 13th, Friends Night at the ballpark. For tickets or more details, visit cardinals.com/theme.
2022 marks the 40th anniversary of the memorable 1982 World Championship team. The Cardinals will be celebrating this remarkable championship team all season long. On Friday, May 13th, the Cardinals host the San Francisco Giants. And that night, 25,000 fans, ages 16 and older, take home a 1982 inspired performance hat, courtesy of Quick Trip. That's Friday, May 13th. Get your tickets at cardinals.com.
It's time for an $89 AC tune-up.
CherryChili.com.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We are broadcasting live out here at the St. Clair County GOP Golf Tournament at the Tamarack Golf Course. A beautiful, sunshiny, 80-degree day in my head. It's cold, and I got some people around here who look like they're using some liquid heat. I'm very envious of, you've got it in a koozie, and people are feeling good. And I have hot hands in my hands right now, and I have a blanket on me. Brad, you went and got gloves out of your car.
I went and got gloves, but I can't do this with gloves on because I'm not sure that the mouse pad works.
Yeah.
So I'm just freezing my hands off anyway.
Yeah, no kidding. So we're broadcasting live out here until 3 o'clock, turning it over to Mark Reardon after that back at the station. And if you're listening to us, a reminder, you can stream us at 97.1 FM Talk on the Odyssey app, but also on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. We're going to get to the YouTube poll here before we turn the show over to Mark Reardon. But But now let's get to Annie. Are you okay?
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
We're doing really well so far, folks. No crash and burn yet.
We are doing good.
We're really proud of us.
We're okay with this.
Yeah.
Now it's my turn. And it's like, oh, here we go. So I'm going to lead off with a big hitter. Hey, do you guys know who Ashley Graham is? Have you heard that name?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to fill us in on who Ashley Graham is?
I don't know enough about that. I know
she's a model. And she's 34 years old, and she's been on the cover of like Sports Illustrated and stuff like that. And on Wednesday, the 34-year-old model, who typically hides her children's faces in photos, shared some snaps on her Instagram.
I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. And when the money comes in for the work I do, I'll pass almost every penny on to you. When I come home, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you. And if I broke, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's going over you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more. It's the need of man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at you too. When I'm lonely, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you. And when I'm dreaming, well, I know I'm gonna dream about the time when I'm with you. When I go out, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you.
It's happening right here, right now.
These justices are acting like this is somehow something that they have the right to change.
Say it with me. We are not going back. We are not going back.
Roe says what all mainstream religions have historically
Of breastfeeding.
Are left, and they are willing to.
It's definitely something that people, as a woman, you have to give up a lot to do that. So of course you're the only one who's, if you're breastfeeding, you're the only one who's feeding this child. I mean, you can pump and all that stuff, but it is another instance where the woman has to put a lot of extra into the situation. And it's like every 2 hours. Oh, we're back. And we're back. Hold on a second. So we're not on the air, right? We're not. Hey, Jake. For the people watching here on our live stream, we got kicked off the air here. Brian got us right back on, so we're all getting connected there. So you guys kind of got to see in the back end here a little bit of panic, but we're going to come back on the air here shortly. Let's see here. Can you guys hear the radio bumping now? You should be able to hear that in there.
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably.
Okay, Terry says we can. Terry.
It's been 23 minutes.
Associate producer.
Probably sweat.
Or associate executive producer.
Okay.
I'm going to turn my mic off here and get you guys back when we listen to the radio.
Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp. I can probably hit the green from here. Probably. Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
Well, that power surge was not really exactly what we were. That's good that we got to experience that moment together, because that's what it is like to do live radio out on
a golf course.
Yeah. Now, I told you before that the biggest reaction I got out of Brian was when Jake offended him with his comment, a negative comment about Machine Gun Kelly. But that moment trumped it. Brian had a bigger reaction to the, whoa, well, we're gone, we're off.
He handled it great, though. You did a really good job.
Didn't panic. Brad panicked. Brad was doing circle laps around the table here and crying.
And it's a shame you guys couldn't see it, because darn it, we were off the air.
And it was your segment. He was enraged because this happened during his segment.
I know it's Annie, are you okay with this? But Brad, no, I'm not okay with that.
He's really upset and angry
my time
about
to shine.
it. But we're back.
Okay.
So Annie, are you okay? We were talking about Ashley
Graham.
Not, I can't want to say Ashley Simpson. That's different. Ashley Graham, who posted to Instagram a picture of her breastfeeding her 2 kiddos, and she's just like out there.
Yeah. And, you guys were talking about whether or not, like breastfeeding and having to plan your whole life around it. And
it's
stuff
an
like
incredible. I've done it with 3 of my kids. I elected not to breastfeed Molly just because the lifestyle with having 3 other kids, it is super, super mentally taxing and stressful and physically taxing to do that. And I elected, I chose my sanity in that moment, because a happy mom is a better mom.
Yes.
And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it this 4th time. So like there's a movement to try to normalize the idea of breastfeeding, and I'm for that.
Yes.
I just don't personally, like, if I see somebody who's out in the open and they're breastfeeding, I'm not going to do or say anything about that. But I don't know that is needed. But those are also people who are doing that, who are saying, no, I am going to breastfeed and I'm not going to change my entire lifestyle around the idea of going to sit. Like there are times where you'd have to go sit in a bathroom to breastfeed your baby, and that's terrible.
Have you seen those breastfeeding pods that have been coming around places?
No.
Really?
Like,
like at Enterprise Center, I know they have a pod where you go in and you can lock it, and it's like a little room that you can breastfeed in.
That's a great idea.
I can't imagine that those are like.
I've never been in one.
Everywhere.
I would put nice soft music in there and have nice.
I think there's one at the mall, at West County Mall. I think there's one at Enterprise Center, but I feel like I've been seeing them more and more, and I think that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm not okay with it, but I'm not okay with it for me.
Okay.
Necessarily. Like, I wouldn't ever feel like, you know what the world needs to see. Nope, not that. So yeah. Anyway, I would say I'm.
Jared, are you okay with this?
All right.
No comment.
I got another one here. All right.
Hannah went there.
Yeah, I thought it would be Wiggins, but no.
No, Hannah.
Hannah picked that up for
Did
him.
he pay you to do that?
I just got a text.
No kidding.
Hannah, what's Tinder? What's it used for? Like, it's a dating app, but it's a dating app. Right?
I want to start this out, Mr. Wonderful, if you're listening. I have never been on Tinder, but I know about the app because my generation, that's like their thing. That's like their Facebook. It's supposed to be a dating app, but it is.
It's like a hookup thing.
It's a hookup app. And it's like, if you see Tinder on someone's phone, you're like, I know what they're looking for.
If you have Tinder, that means
you're looking for it. Like, if I was dating someone and they had a Tinder app, we would not be dating anymore.
That's it.
Okay.
That's like
all you need.
Red flag. Yes.
Okay. All right. So,
not to say it's
entirely. Talking about Ryan Wiggins' Tinder.
Oh, it would be so awesome.
Wait. Jake wants to weigh in.
No, I was just saying, I'm not entirely hookups. I'm just it's not all.
I think Jake is taking this personally.
No, I'm not taking it personally because you're not 100% wrong, but we
don't know. Brad and I don't know.
So yeah, Tinder is,
of the existence.
It happened.
Of it.
Yeah, it happened after my generation. So this woman had a bizarre Tinder date, and it says that this Tinder date has inspired trolls on TikTok.
Okay.
So anyway, when she linked up with a guy she met on the app, she likely had other dating activities in mind, is what the article says.
She did.
Other dating activities, right? So her date brought her over to his house and whipped out a mini green and insisted upon playing golf the whole time.
Oh
so
my gosh.
It was 3
Good
hours.
for him.
It was
He's dating material.
3 hours of mini golf in his living room. It said,
is he here?
Is it both?
Yeah, she said, POV, you match with a guy on Tinder and he brings you home to putt in his living room for 3 hours. She wrote in the
But
video
meaning
caption.
literally putting his
Putting, yeah. And she said she showed footage of the encounter. He had a mini golf course set up in his living room, and there was a clip of him putting of him putting and another of him using a
mini
hand.
golf course in his living room.
Yes. And they did that for 3 hours.
See, like, I mean, for a whole host of reasons, but this one not excluded. Don't meet somebody on the internet and go into their living room. Like, think about what else he could have just, like, it could have.
He could have whipped out a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I think that's what she was expecting, Hannah.
Well, you know. I just think that there's a million ways this could go wrong, and this is not the worst way it could go wrong.
Right.
This is one of the best ways it could go. Putt.
Right.
In the living
So
room.
Jake, you sound like you're on board with the trolls in the chat, and they were saying things like,
what makes you think
heroes
I'm
get
on board
remembered,
with trolls
but
in
legends
chat
never die?
rooms?
Jake.
You're not wrong.
You play
I just
Halo,
don't like
right?
The assumption.
You play Halo, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't want to know what you're talking
Well,
about.
if you know, you know.
I do not.
Yikes.
All right.
What's
You got
the-
one more?
Yeah.
What were you asking her if she was okay with what?
Are you okay with a person meeting up on Tinder and bringing a girl home to play mini golf in your living room for 3
Yeah, I'm
hours?
supportive of that. I think that's a great idea.
All right.
As long as it's actually putt.
We love a gentleman.
Not putt with a wink. Like just putt.
Putt,
Oh,
wink,
hey,
wink.
you want to come over to my house and play putt in the living room? And then you go over and there's putt in the living room. You're like, you got to be kidding me.
It all
Wow.
depends
Good
on
for
how you
him.
say it. It's all about
Good
how
for
you say
him.
it.
Exactly.
You want to play
More
putt?
putt in the living room. And I mean that sincerely.
All right. So, retirees with guns is what this is
Okay.
captioned.
We're
It says
probably in good company
the
right
title
here, right
is
now.
Kings Point dog walker shot by golf cart vigilante in a condo caper.
Man, this isn't from here.
Whoa.
You're talking about retired two-way supporters in golf carts.
So years ago, some cars in suburban Delray Beach used to display the bumper sticker that says, "Pray for me, I drive by Kings Point." So what that was a shot at was the perception that many senior citizen drivers went in and out of that condo complex. And and the old bumper sticker may have to be revised now. It says, "Pray for me, I will walk dogs at King Points." So the residents of Kings Point play 2 18-hole golf courses that were designed by world-renowned architect Robert Trent Jones Sr. And the proliferation of guns in Florida, where about 2.5 million people are licensed to carry concealed handguns, plays into the story. So Levine was driving a golf cart, pulled up to Merritt and confronting him about walking his dog too close to the golf course. So the guy's walking a dog. He's a dog walker.
Uh-huh.
This is his job. He's walking the dogs close to the golf course. And this retiree pulls up and is like, "You're too close to the golf course." And it says the verbal confrontation took a potentially life and death turn when Levine pointed a handgun at Merritt, who then ran as Levine pursued him around a tree in the cart while shooting at the fleeing dog owner.
Shooting at him.
Yeah, the arrest report said.
I'm not okay with that.
So I was going to say, Annie, are you okay with a vigilante on a golf cart
no.
shooting a dog walker?
I don't think. I think that's a bit
Wow.
excessive. He probably needs to do some putt in the living room and take
Reevaluate.
Yes, could reconsider his options. Good grief, people, man. All right, I'm not. All your stories weren't about golf, were they?
Yeah. No.
That was the first one.
Was that on purpose?
No.
I mean, that is some well done, well timed.
That's how we do.
That was an accident, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was us.
He's like, woo.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get to the poll question of the day. Weigh in a little bit, and Hannah has your comments set aside. So if you want to get one in, there's still time to do that. But you got to go vote on the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. Is it cool to be a conservative? Yes or no? And we want to know why in the comments. We're going to take a quick break. More from St. Clair County GOP golf tournament at Tamarack Golf Course in Shiloh, Illinois in just a minute. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. The Mark Reardon Show.
Selena Zitodak with us.
The majority of Americans, well over 60-some%, cannot stomach the idea of an abortion past a handful of weeks.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Hensher Johnson Orthodontics, yep, on the Illinois side of the river, but super simple to get to from both sides of the river in Columbia, Illinois, and in Waterloo. Hensher Johnson Orthodontics, people drive from great distances to go to Hensher Johnson Orthodontics because of Dr. Jody and her entire amazing staff that is there. If you have orthodontic care in your future, or if you're like the Frey family, got some kiddos that are going to probably need orthodontic care, go to Dr. Jody. She's going to give it to you straight. She's going to make sure that you have the information that you need to make sure your teeth are aligned, not just for the pretty smile, but there are a lot of health reasons that you're going to want to make sure that your orthodontic care is in the right hands. Dr. Jody has the highest tech access at her office. She has, like I said, a wonderful staff that you're going to love. These people are top notch, the best in the business. And Hensher Johnson Orthodontics has all of the information about the services they provide on their website. You can also call to make an appointment. Make sure you mention the Annie Frey Show when you do, so they know where you heard about them. Give them a call at 618-400-0900. That's 618-400-0900 in Columbia, Illinois, and Waterloo. Online at HensherJohnsonOrtho.com.
Menards has what you need to grow the perfect lawn, and you'll save 11% on everything. Spectracide Weed and Feed attaches to your garden hose and kills over 10 common broadleaf weeds, like dandelions, while feeding your lawn. Treat up to 7,500 square feet for just $7.99 after 11% rebate. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through May 8th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Hi, this is Curtis Barks. I am the owner of Complete Auto Body and Repair, here to tell you about our touchless automotive service. If you experience the constant struggles of having the kids home from school, or just want more of that family time where you can listen to them teach you about what they do every day, we provide touchless automotive service, return the vehicle to you clean and ready to go in the comfort of your own home. Check us out online at CompleteAB.com for more information. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 800-730-8405 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check. As easy as, that's 800-730-8405.
Introducing EarLens, a new approach to the treatment of hearing loss that uses a tiny custom-fit lens to gently vibrate the eardrum without surgery. That means EarLens gives you 2.5 times the audible bandwidth of traditional hearing aids for dramatically better speech understanding. EarLens may result in improved hearing, even in noisy listening situations. To learn more, go to earlens.com today. That's EARLENS.com and register for a free virtual consultation. That's earlens.com.
Tune into the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Del, self-made millionaire and founder of Lifestyles Unlimited, will show you how to live the life of your dreams and pay for it with passive income.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get in your comfort zone with a new HVAC system and save $50 to $250 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates on qualifying products. For details and a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Bringing you up-to-the-minute traffic like nobody else. Sue Thomas and dependable traffic, driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
I come from the heart of the heartland, where picture shows where the corn grows and rolls and rolls, with summer greens and winter snows, and it goes on through the crack of the bat. Oh, everybody rolling out their welcome mat, and our hands on our hearts under the stars of the Friday night flag. and all the heart will want.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show.
Beyond that wild blue yonder, when I get lost in the noise, like a whisper, I hear the voice of the boy. From Illinois.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We are broadcasting live from the St. Clair County GOP Golf Tournament at Tamarack Golf Course in Shiloh, Illinois. It's been a pleasure to be out here. Chilly, but still well-packed with people who have come out to support the St. Clair County Republicans. You can go online to stclaircountyrepublicans.com to learn more about that organization. If you're interested in getting involved, it's a healthy organization, and it needs more people to step up and get involved. You can check them out on Facebook as well, the St. Clair County Republicans. You can find them on there. Real quick before we get to the poll question here with Hannah, this is kind of funny. I was just pulled up Fox News, and this is the headline. James Carville blasts Democrats. They'll just talk, quote, veganism and pronouns if Roe is overturned. He also says here, according to Fox News, Democratic strategist James Carville said Thursday that conservatives are unafraid of the political fallout from potentially overturning Roe v. Wade because of their, quote, justified, end quote, belief that the Democratic Party is incapable of motivating voters and would rather talk about veganism and pronouns than winning issues. This is from James Carville, who's been around the block a few times, and is somebody who really understands how this business is played, which brings us to the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll question for today.
The question is it cool to be a conservative? Yes or no? With 116 votes, 79% of the people said yes, it is cool. And 21% of the people said no, it's not.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
I'm glad that people say that, because I don't know that my initial thought on this is that it's really that cool. Like you were saying, your first reaction is, I don't care if it's cool. It's who I am.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if people start relating conservatism to the counterculture, which means that the liberal side has gone mainstream to the extent that people are not interested in it anymore.
Right.
I think that like what James Carville is saying, and some of these main issues that are facing people right now, and just you go to the gas station or the grocery store, you start looking at, is this the only way? What are my other options? If it happens to be that conservatism is the other option, that might start to be kind of cool.
Right. Be a rebel, start a family, vote conservative.
Amen.
Yes.
Some comments?
We do have some comments. Let's see. STL from YouTube says, 1, of course it's cool to be conservative. And 2, to those who don't think it's cool, they're too clueless to matter.
Another, I don't care if they think we're cool, which I totally understand.
I think that goes along with what I was saying earlier about how they probably just aren't informed.
Right.
And so, they say if you're conservative and young, you have no heart. If you're or if you're liberal and old, you have no brain.
Right.
Which is funny and potentially kind of true.
Well, yeah, there's just life experience that you haven't had yet.
Yeah, it might require a little bit of cynicism to understand the benefit of conservative values, but they exist not just for your wallet, which is what I think a lot of people who campaign, they focus on those wallet issues, but it affects your family.
Mm-hmm.
and it affects the values that you hold the closest to yourself, and that's worth advocating for.
Right. And one of the, you had us prep a whole bunch of stuff. You make sure you got a lot of stuff for us. So one of the articles I pulled was about shortage.
Are you mad?
No, not at all. I'd rather have it, not need it, than need it, not have it.
Yeah, Annie, one of the first things you told me to do was work.
Yeah. Speaking of conservative values.
But one of the articles that I had pulled up was an article about a nationwide shortage of baby formula.
It's getting
that's a
very
real
dramatic.
problem. That's a real problem, and it's
terrifying one.
It affects real people, and it's put in place by bad policy from the left.
Yes. My husband and I have more formula now than we would normally keep on hand, but we are 2 weeks away from no formula for Molly. And fortunately, she's 11 months. So if we had to go to something else, she can eat table food, but she still does rely on formula to be fed. And I can't imagine if she were 3 months old, I can't imagine what I would do.
Or if she had colic or something like that.
It's really, really scary. Any more comments before we got to run?
Yes. Let's see. Greg says, no, not in today's world. If you listen to mainstream media or news, but I'm very proud to be a conservative.
Yeah, I think that's where it's at right now, and the confidence from people who are conservative. And I'm just going to tell you right now, you got to speak up a little bit more than we have been. It's been definitely a scenario where conservatives have been shamed into keeping their thoughts quiet because the other side calls you names, and they have every camera and microphone and speaker that exists reinforcing that. And now more than ever, you just got to not just like we're hearing from you listeners on these comments, you just got to speak up. And if they're going to call you names, who cares? That's cool.
Right.
Just to own who you are, to be who you are, and just to speak, like you said before, to speak on it.
Yeah, to speak on it.
All right. Well, we're gonna blow away. The wind is picking up and saying, "Get the heck out of here." We are broadcasting live from the St. Clair County GOP Golf Tournament. Thank you so much for having us out here. StClairCountyRepublicans.com, St. Clair County Republicans on Facebook. We'll be back in studio with Ryan Wiggins as well on Monday. But the Mark Reardon Show is coming up next right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
Politician Darren Bailey calls himself a conservative.